Danny got the transaction traced and found out exactly where the money went. So what can you do? Well, that's a lot of information, and I think the FBI could do something. Again, will the FBI investigate and prosecute? This is another unfortunate truth. The FBI works in numbers. They will almost never investigate one crime. So you can try to get them to do it, but they almost never do it. So you have an actual account it went to. If you have the routing number and the account number, I would do just the same as they did. I would make a draft on their account. And I would say, you know what? Sue me if you don't like it. That's what I would do. Do you have their routing number and their bank number, their account number?
No, we just know the bank that it went to.
Well, wait a minute. How could you possibly know the bank and not the other stuff? How do you know it went to that bank?
Because it got cashed. So the bank isn't giving us any more details.
What do you mean it got cashed?
Where.
They could have cashed it anywhere. Why do you think they cashed it at their bank?
Well, because it was a large amount.
How much? 10 grand? Well, no, you're assuming that because they cashed it at a bank, they have an account there?
Well, they had to. It's deposited.
Well,
like it's
hold on. So it wasn't cash there. It was deposited there.
Yeah, sorry. It was deposited at a specific branch.
Well, that's a whole different story, sir.
Personal.
What bank was it deposited in?
Dolores State Bank, Cortez branch in Colorado.
It was deposited in a bank in Colorado?
Yes.
Wow.
And then where did it go?
Usually they're all over the place or out of state.
Did it leave the bank in cash?
Right. They won't tell me.
How do you even know? How did you even find out where it was cashed?
USA Bank here told us the bank that took the deposit of funds out of.
Well, guess what? That bank will also tell you the routing number and the account number. Your bank should have that information available to you. They took it out of your account. Do they have that information?
They haven't given it up, no.
Have you asked for it? Say, listen, I want this prosecuted. I want to know exactly, not just the bank. I want to know the routing number. Well, you can get the routing number because now you know the bank. But you just tell them you want the routing number and you want the account number. You have a right to that.
Did you go to the cops in Cortez?
Yep, we've
wait a minute.
Talked to deputy sheriff out there, and still waiting to hear back.
No, you
haven't gotten anything back yet.
Wait, no. Did you just ask him, Mark? Wait, you didn't just ask him if.
Yeah, I did. 10 grand. I think they would do something.
Wait a minute.
I think Douglas County would.
Wait, so you're asking him? Did he go to Cortez to the police department? I think I have
file a report.
Hold on. I think I have a microphone in there. Here it is. Yeah.
I would have been down there.
I think they're getting ready for Thanksgiving. This is a hidden microphone in the Cortez department. And then, hold on, later tonight, you're going to hear this. Now, seriously, do you really think that the Cortez Police Department is going to hop on wire fraud? Okay, so what do we do?
I'd go fill out a police report. I don't care what anybody says.
Of course you should, but I go to the FBI. But I want to go to your bank. Is your bank open today? Your grandma's bank? I want your grandmother must ask for the routing number and the account number. That's our next step. And you go to the FBI and you tell them you have absolute evidence for a wire fraud case. Somebody scared her with the Social Security. Come on. Now,
Actually, he goes to the CBI. That's who I'd call is CBI.
Call the CBI, the FBI.
Yeah, but it's all here in Colorado.
The account might be right on her online checking, showing what account it was wired to if he just logs in.
It could. So, Danny, you got a lot of homework to do, bro. A lot of homework.
Yep.
303
very helpful.
713-TALK. Now, listen. When we give you this homework, you need to know something. It's not a kiss-off. It's not a brush-off. We're going to work with you. You call us back. I mean, we want to get this information. 303-713-TALK. Now, I got a question for you. And I'm really serious now, Mark. I'm really serious.
Yes, sir.
If someone ripped off your grandmother or grandfather or loved one or yourself or your family member, and you had their account number and their routing number, would you have any qualms taking money out of their account.
Yeah, but I doubt there's anything in it. I don't think it would matter.
But I would have no qualms.
No, I
about
wouldn't either, but I don't think there's anything in it. I mean, these guys are professional scammers.
I'm Tom Martino.
They probably, that account, all they got to do is trace back to who that account's under. They got to
You know, Ugly Ed, I can't download to this computer. I just can't.
Yeah, you can. Why can't
I
you?
can't find it once I download it.
God,
Okay, all right, Mark. You think I'm an idiot? I got to do this first. I don't have a spot here, right? Let's just keep this down. Okay, let's just do this. Okay. Oh well, let me download something. I mean, let me give you something I want to download.
I'm sure all the shit you've downloaded in the past is there.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Jeez Louise, man.
He thinks I'm an idiot. He's going to go to the download folder and not find it. Go ahead. I don't give a shit.
I don't.
He doesn't know shit. That's my same old shit. Okay, that's my same old shit. Nothing's there.
How did you get this shit here?
I originally downloaded it, went to the downloads folder and moved it.
What's up with
But
that?
there's no more downloads folder. Or there's not one.
Calm down, Becky.
There is a downloads folder, but it doesn't have shit in it.
Hold on, Becky.
Now go down to the
Just
download.
calm down. Dan, would you get a
You
chill
know, the
pill?
last fucking thing I need is someone telling me to calm down, especially doesn't even know the word calm.
Just speak in a low roar.
Where is C? Hold on, I gotta.
Oh, excuse me. Go over here, Mark, to see. Close
Where's
that
your
out.
C drive?
Okay, what you have to do is go to the
Windows Explorer. Where's your fucking C drive?
Okay, let me show
Oh,
you.
here it is. I know why. We're under libraries. We got to go back here. Okay, so now let's go computer.
Good,
There we go.
good, thank you.
C drive.
If you find it, I owe you another lunch.
Now let's
Just put it on the
Now, if
tab.
he does, I'd love it.
users.
I never
Which
saw
one
this
are
part.
you?
Well, let's see public. See if public has it.
No, what do they log into though?
Do you know what we log into? Is it CCR Den 1, CCR Den 1? Never mind.
So this last cold snap was it busy as hell?
Okay, so wait, it's not even.
How about public?
Yeah, it's amazing, but as soon as it warms up, the phones go quiet again.
You
So
son of a
why-
bitch!
Is it just
You-
because
oh,
they're
it's
pushing their
empty. It's in here,
furnaces so
though.
hard that they fail?
No, go there.
Yeah.
Go
on
there.
every cold
That's
thing?
another one.
Because
Okay.
I don't
even on a
think
Grace, you
regular
found something.
day and stuff, you can still have the furnace go on.
You found
Yeah,
something?
it does, but like you said, it's because they're working harder.
Oh, yeah.
And typically, right in the beginning of the
Here we go.
season, that's when
Now
we see
we
a
go.
lot of
Right,
Where
it.
did
It's
you
like,
go,
and that
Mark?
makes sense, because
Yeah.
it's setting.
Did you download
try to
alert?
Put it off.
I
Right.
don't think
But,
so. Well, I.
Oh, here, I'll show you how we
But
find
yeah,
it. Go
then
download something real quick. It'll tell us
throughout
the path.
season,
Okay, that's
it
what I
kind
wanted
of
to
depends. I
do. Thank
mean,
you, dear.
like
If you
like
get this, Mark, this is.
No, I had to find
hard
it
for
on
a couple
mine.
days,
Let's
and then
see.
it warms up next week. It won't have that big of an effect. If it
Just
stays
download
cold,
Okay, no, I got it
Like 2
because
weeks,
I'm on
we'll go
stealth mode. I
nuts.
have to go through this way to get it.
If they're-
And then I
if
want to
they're
go here
nonstop
to
working.
troubleshoot.
And that's what
creative.
furnaces, if they get pushed hard, that's when they fail. That makes sense.
And then, no, I want to go to the real shit. If I'm going to do it, I may as well do it. Hold on, Mark. It's right
yeah,
here.
people just don't plan. I mean, it's like you talk to tire shops, you know.
That is true.
It's
Just
like-
grab one though right now. Then you can go.
You know winter's
So just
coming,
go over
but
here.
until that snow starts
Download
falling,
it
people don't
however
do
you
anything.
Now hit
Yeah.
download.
Because that first snowstorm and stuff, I was supposed to get tires on, I had made an appointment, and then they had to push me off because it was too cold.
Ah, fuck, I owe him lunch! I owe him lunch! I can't believe this! I owe this Mark, where do I find this folder once I do this?
We were just in it.
Oh, no, Mark. I owe him lunch. I just can't believe he did it.
Gee, let's see. He's owed me that's like 980. Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
do. No, this one I'll acknowledge, okay, you bastard.
Lucky man.
Lucky you.
Lucky man. Another Martino lunch. You know what that is? That's a bottled water during the show.
Let's get sandwiches.
Suzanne, make sandwiches. I owe Mark lunch.
You don't even eat lunch, do you? I thought you just ate dinner. So I can bet you lunch all the time. That's
There's some conversion though, like 3 lunches equals a dinner. I'm not sure yet.
With wine.
Okay, Mark, how do you download them all? Okay, right here, download. Okay.
Oh no, you download the folder.
Yeah, it's zipping them.
I don't know if that computer will let you unzip. you might be fucked.
Okay, I'll do it both ways.
Well, try it. If it lets you unzip it, it's fine.
Certain wealth strategies. Discover the fiduciary difference. Visit lifecertain.com today to begin your planning.
Stella says
You want someone you can trust in the auto repair
Warren
business.
support
Auto
plunging.
Tech is just that place. In fact, there are two of them in Lakewood, on Colfax, just
For,
west of Wadsworth,
ratings.
and in Aurora, on Havana, just
So
south
it's
of
doing
Santa Fe.
57
Share
He's
now.
too
Auto
young.
Tech. You
He's
can
too
trust
young to
him.
be president. I don't care what anybody says.
203-455-7240.
I wouldn't vote for a 36-year-old
Not only do you trust
Republican.
them, but you can know
Who?
What the hell's his
experience
name?
and knowledge
Buttigieg.
to
You know,
take care
Ryan
of
was
too
a
young.
good guy. Remember this Ryan Penn doctor?
SheridanAutoTech.com, 303-455-7242.
I don't care if he's doing well or not. He's too young to be president. What's the minimum? 35?
35.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too young. I mean,
Who is he?
What the hell were you doing at 35? I guarantee I was doing
He's not the
something I
gay
shouldn't
guy,
have
is
been
he?
doing.
Right.
Is he gay?
I was working my
I mean, he's a
ass off, but I
Republican?
mean, you're not.
No.
35,
He's
you're
one of the
immature. I don't care who you are.
Keep in mind, when they made those laws,
He was
people
the
were
one
only
that used
living
that
to
week.
45.
Yeah.
He was a special forces guy. But
Yeah, he's-
Oh shit, we can't vote for him. He might die next week. He's 47.
You know, Kennedy was 35.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
I thought he was. He just made it up.
Hi, Tom Martino here,
Now I
303
gotta look if he's right.
713 Talk, 303 713 8255. So, what is on your mind today? I'll tell you what, it's not that bad. The weather's not that bad. So, if you have a problem, question, or complaint, do you guys have normal hours for home services? Not normal, right? Is there an upcharge when there's a Thanksgiving holiday?
We do go on an emergency service fee. Now, our VIPs do not pay that. So we have our VIP plan.
So if you're part of that membership program, you don't pay an upcharge, but you still pay a normal fee.
No,
right?
you don't even pay. We waive all service fees. You get discounts on all of our services.
What happens if they buy it? Let's say they have an emergency tomorrow. You guys come out and
Can they buy
it then. Do you waive it or no?
We would not. Okay.
No, that's not fair. You know, I mean,
But in the future, they would.
Yeah, but if you're a VIP, there's
can they
so
join the
many
VIP
benefits.
plan right now?
You can. You can call our office. It's as low as $99 a year. I think last time I was on your show, I said $99 a month, which was a mistake. It's $99 a year. If you want furnace and air conditioner, it's $198. But not only do you get free maintenance every year, but you get discounts on all of our services. You never pay a service charge when it's cold or hot and our phones are blown up. You get priority service. There's so many advantages.
Pass him the donation jug because he's going way beyond a comment. He was like making a whole campaign here. I know, you know.
Bob tends
come on,
to
Bob.
sneak things in like that.
Jeez, just give us a little
You hardly
break.
give me a chance.
You forgot to give the number out.
Give
Bob.
us a little break.
303-586-1086 or plumlineservices.com.
Now it's official. He does owe us. He does owe us for sure. Listen, I have some emails I'm going to get to, and you know what you forgot to tell me, Dano? Yeah, you forgot. You were supposed to tell me to go to the show folder. Yeah.
For what?
Oh, for some stuff I put aside that we really need to talk about. But here's what I want to tell our people right now. Seriously. If you have a problem, a question, or complaint, give us a call. Now, I know you're all in a happy mood. You're getting ready for Thanksgiving, a long weekend for many people. Many of you are actually preparing now. You're not even working today. But it's a good time to listen to the radio and have fun. And if you want to hear, you know, get a relief from the politics and all of the pontificating and pushing you toward, you know, a agenda. All I want to do is help. That's what the show does. Speaking of issues, we handle all issues. You know the guy that was supervising his grandson, and the grandson fell through a window at a cruise ship and died? Fell 3 stories or something? You don't know this story? And they
How old was the kid? What are we talking?
Like 3 or 4 years old.
Oh,
A girl,
It's
I'm sorry.
unbelievable.
Oh,
It's
A little girl. And didn't they investigate to prosecute? Didn't they arrest him?
No, I think they dropped charges. Though.
They
did
did.
drop charges.
They did. But here's what I'm thinking. Obviously an investigation might have been in order, but could anyone ever truly be prosecuted for an accident like that? I mean, think about it. Do you know what happened? And I don't know if he was supervising or not, and I don't want to bring up pain for a man around the holidays, but I doubt he's listening. Eric Clapton's kid fell out a window. Did you know that?
Sure did. He wrote that song about it.
What a tragedy. I mean, when you lose a child, my God. But anyway, do you think there's a a point of negligence. Now, I'm not talking about anything intentional, but I do. Do you remember the stories we hear around the holidays that are just absolutely wild?
Well,
Do you remember years ago we heard about a couple leaving their kids and going on vacation? Was that true? They supposedly went to Hawaii or Mexico or something.
Generally,
look that up, Ugly Ed. You love looking up stuff. That
generally,
crazy.
how that stuff works is the cops look into it, and if it truly was an accident, the biggest one that happens every summer is what? You know what I'm going to say. They leave their kid in the car and they don't even know the kid's in the car, the baby, and then it ends up dead. If they truly find out generally that it was an accident, they really didn't know, they usually don't bring up charges.
Now, you can reach us anytime, 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. We get calls from all over the country because of our Facebook and YouTube. And for the person that was calling, she called from Cincinnati. She wanted to know, she had a Trane furnace and a 20-year heat exchanger warranty. Trane came out and said the heat exchanger's fine. The technician who was there looking at it says it's bad. The tech from a local company. The local company, she says she trusts. Trane is a good company. I don't think they would lie to her, especially about a heat exchanger. I mean, they wouldn't want to kill somebody, right? Now, what do you think, Bob?
Well, did Trane send a representative out there to take a look at it?
Yeah.
And they said it was fine?
Yeah.
You know, we run into this a number of times, and the reality is, this could have been a Trane manufacturer's rep. It could have been an independent contractor that they hire, but most people are not truly trained to identify cracks in heat exchangers. We just sent we just sent all of our technicians last Saturday through a course, but because we run into this all the time where people.
The guru, is Ellis still the guru or not?
He is, and his sons have taken over the class, and they teach nationwide.
Okay, but here's the point. Listen to this one. The point is, her furnace was more than 20 years. It was about 20 years old, or coming up on 20. It would have been covered by the Trane warranty. But I gave her wrong information because she was waiting to get it replaced. I said, no matter what, that old of a furnace, get it replaced. You're going to save money just on the efficiency. But she said, okay, but I'd rather get a free furnace than pay for it. And what I neglected to tell her that people wrote in about is that it's a prorated warranty and you're going to get almost nothing after 20 years. Well, like on a Trane, what would she get?
On that manufacturer,
you know them very well.
Because the part, and she's going to have to pay the labor. So they're not going to replace the furnace. They're going to replace the heat exchanger. So
they would under the warranty?
Yeah, but it doesn't include labor, he just said.
Right.
So she'd be better off buying a new one.
She's probably looking at, $2,000, $2,500, something like that, out of pocket. And so why would you want to put that money into a furnace that old?
But she would get the heat exchanger free.
She should.
I didn't like that lady. If it's a lady I'm thinking about, I didn't like her.
Why?
That's the one I went out on, right? When they pulled it out of the house?
This is in Cincinnati. We're talking about a totally different.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought of the one in Highlands
What
Ranch.
Mark is talking about is a woman called us and said that Plumline tried to rip her off. And we said, really? Yeah, they told us we have a bad heat exchanger. But we called HomeSmart, which is Excel Energy, the worst company in the world, one of the worst companies as far as customer service and likability. Anyway, they said their HomeSmart program, which is actually a home moron program, they sent out somebody who said the furnace was fine and that Plumline was not being honest. Now, you think you should be able to depend on your energy company. Here's what happened. Bob Logan was so upset, he said, Tom, I'm going to buy her a furnace if I can have the old one. Really? And she said, what's the catch? And he said, nothing. Well, what if you're right? Will I have to pay for the furnace? No. I just want to show Tom Martino that we were right, and also the public, because the guy called in. So Mark went out there. They went out on the driveway. They had the old furnace. They bought her a.
No, I watched them. I watched them literally take it apart.
She
was not. Never left my eyes.
She was not even appreciative. That's what really blew my mind.
I hated that woman.
So
disliked.
I know what you mean. So he takes apart the furnace. They take apart the furnace. There were like 9 or 10 cracks. It was so riddled.
Bob, for the life of me, why you gave her a free furnace?
Well, because
there was so many cracks.
No, because first of all, she could have died. That's the thing. HomeSmart, and people, right now, if you have a HomeSmart program, it's a subscription program with Excel, like a membership. Also, you call them on a case-by-case basis. They are the dumbest, most stupid people I have ever run into. They get the bottom of the barrel technicians. Why? Because they don't pay well, and all of these other companies pay a crap load of money for good technicians, plus signing bonuses. They can't keep up with the work. So you know the bottom of the barrel. The bottom of the barrel is with HomeSmart. And with HomeSmart, because they're not actually doing, when they do the diagnostic, they can send anyone out. They don't have to have a license. You have such a terrible problem with Excel Energy and HomeSmart. This woman could have died because of their advice. This furnace was not just questionable. It was, you send in a 4-year-old with a flashlight, and they would have seen that this was a bad heat exchanger.
Yeah, my only point was why Bob bought her a furnace, I think, was dumb. No offense, Bob.
Well, because how would he have accomplished what he did without buying a furnace?
Put it back together. Put it back together and don't plug it in. And say, told you, lady, there you go. You want to buy one now?
She wouldn't have let them disrupt her home. Why would anyone do that? And here's the other thing. Taking it apart like that, you couldn't put it back together the way we did it, right?
Well, no, nor would we want to. And
well, legally you couldn't turn it back on, but you could put it back together.
Yeah,
but
that's
HomeSmart with Excel Energy, if you have it, cancel it. Use me as an excuse. I will go up against them anytime. They're morons, and in my opinion, at what point are you stupid, and at what point are you dishonest?
What's up, Mike? How are you doing? Good to see you. Ironically, I don't know if you remember, but
she never even thanked you guys.
No,
did she?
never even said thank you.
I'm telling you, man, she never thanked us.
She made us seem like the bad guys.
I don't even know why you.
Be careful out on the highway.
Because you have.
You know what I'm saying?
Guys,
here's the problem. It sets a precedent.
Across town, up in the
So you felt like you were between a rock and a hard spot. That's what happened.
Yeah.
But she probably thanked HomeSmart.
Blocking all the highway.
I've been better one this year.
Yeah,
does your gas company down there or electric company, do they have any kind of warranties they sell like Excel does?
Or not just warranties, but
Black Hills Energy.
Do they do furnaces? Do they compete with you? Is what I'm asking.
Springs was Black Hills.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They
the
do.
whole Springs?
Isn't that stupid? Who is the company down there?
Black Hills.
Black Hills Energy.
And they have their own division to sell stuff, right?
I think we have Excel.
Just not fair.
Power.
Do you give
and then Black Hills
amount
for
gas?
No, but you have Colorado Natural Gas, CNG.
DenverTrialLawyers.com. Some firms settle. Denver Trial Lawyers fight when they have to fight. Settle when they know the settlement is good. Go before judges, jury verdicts. $70 million in a birth injury. $22 million medical malpractice. $5 million for sexual assault. That was Adams County School District. Denver Trial Lawyers, they want to help you with a catastrophic injury. Here's the problem. Most people don't even know what a catastrophic injury is, but that doesn't matter because they do free initial consultations. Maybe you had a product blow up. Maybe you had a product hurt you. How about a doctor or a therapist, a hospital, assisted living facilities? And this is when we get a lot of calls about people say, well, they were old anyway, they're telling me they can't do anything. Nursing homes, yes, you can fight for their rights. 303-647-4435. 647-4435. DenverTrialLawyers.com.
With an IRA or 401k.
So they have
how old will you be when you run
their
out of
program
money?
is they'll fix it or replace it.
Americans will actually run out of money in retirement.
So they say.
Why is that
Do they do a good job on it, or
no?
These four critical questions.
No,
Number
it's
one, how much retirement income will you actually have when you stop working? Number two,
they put in the basic, cheapest furnaces they can. If you want a higher efficiency one, you have to pay them for an upgrade.
And they have to do.
Which probably covers the cost of the whole deal.
Actually run out of money. Grab your cell phone now and
It's
call
pretty,
the specialist to see a vivid.
If you get Fuller, we have that question.
But they do like dishwashers and the whole appliances.
No, they just do water heaters.
Just about the eggshell. You take your clients as you find them.
Take your clients as you find them. Take the victim. That's funny. Take your
victims as you find them.
I like that because that's true too. You do take your clients as you find them.
He'll know what you mean.
807-3838 right now.
That is good, actually. I like that. Take your clients. In any retail, that is so true. You do take your clients.
But you don't have to, and you shouldn't. That's the whole message I have. Know when to turn people down.
Now, what is this? Fire TV recast.
Custom insulation, filling every crack, nook, and cranny. No other existing insulation comes close. Most customers see utility savings of 30%, and you get added benefits like 80% sound.
Oh, lets you record over the air.
And a Class 1 fire rating. Call now 720-676-6333.
You know what I love about Hulu Live? So you get like, 100 terabytes or whatever to record anything live. And after 1 hour, I think it is, after it's recorded live, it pulls all the commercials out. So you can watch whatever shows you like on ABC, CBS,
Really?
no commercials.
That is awesome.
That is cool. But
What
if you
happens
watch it
during
live,
Mark,
you get
what happens during the commercials?
nothing. It just basically skips them. Nothing happens. It fades out and then fades directly back in. I hate commercials. I'd rather pay money and not see commercials.
It's hard.
Yeah, I know.
But it's out of
Ironically enough,
business.
what we do, yeah. Okay, wait a minute. I love commercials on one side.
So we have Xfinity, and there's a feature on there that some shows that you pre-record. It doesn't work in all of them for some reason, but some shows it'll show you where the commercials are. So
Oh, it'll fast forward.
yeah, so you can just hit fast forward, and it'll automatically stop.
That's DirecTV, right? Or Dish Network.
Mark, we're in the
That's,
business.
Comcast, that's
We're in the business of commercials.
Yeah, I know. I just
So am I,
like
but-
commercials.
Yeah, if he comes on for sure.
They won, but I don't think their next game is till next week. I love when we get preempted by women's basketball.
The whole Michael Brown show got.
You know what Spence told me? He told me literally last year during that time. Remember, we had to go an hour early. Actually, 2 hours early. I think they logged in like not even one people meter, meaning literally we had 0 people listening to the basketball game. Fucking 0. But because
Why is that, Mark? Why
in order
was
to
that?
get KOA, in order to get the Broncos and CU football and all this stuff, they agree they'll play the women's basketball.
Title IX.
It's all part of the deal. Title IX. It's all part of Title IX.
Do you have my email? But,
Oh yeah.
Hey, if Ross has on someone running for
With Wrench,
governor,
I
or
can't
you
do
have
any of
on
that stuff
someone running
anymore.
for
You know, with
governor,
Nexstar company.
Yes.
do you have
Yes.
to give somebody
Yes.
else?
They're becoming very
Technically,
close to
you
shit,
should.
more stuff close to
If
the
they
chest,
equal time,
I mean,
talk
I'm-
shows
I'm willing
have
to
claimed they are
share-
exempt, and
That was the
Some
question.
stuff,
Are they or not?
well, we don't. It's never been
What's iHeart's
challenged.
policy?
It's never been challenged. iHeart is try to avoid.
At least extend the invitation.
That's something
if
like
you
that.
can.
That's right.
how to put all those in there,
Candidates.
organize them.
During the
I
election,
don't
whatever
think
it is,
I-
like-
I don't think I-
thehormonebros.com if you want BioT, which is pellet implants for testosterone and estrogen, and balancing through supplementation, other things, and they also have cosmetic procedures. We're getting great reviews about thehormonebros.com, and Suzanne is hoping the New Year's resolution Mark will get BioT. Not that he needs it.
I'm a rabbit, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure you are. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. But in any case, we're hoping that Suzanne gets her wish. All Mark has to do is go to thehormonebros.com and say, I'd like some BioT to boost my testosterone. And the rest is, okay. Let's talk. What's going on with Esther? Esther, I saw that you held before and hung up. Let's get to you. What's going on, Esther?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. What's happening with you?
Okay, so my attorney is Mike Sawaya's law firm.
Sawaya, okay. I've seen him advertising quite a bit, and also we've never really had many complaints about him. What's going on? What's that, dear? Well, we're going to... Okay. Well, I'm getting every other word, so we're not going to be able to continue this. I'm sorry. I can't hear you. Can you believe... You want to talk about nannyism. Is that an expression, nannyism?
What the hell's that mean?
Just being coddled with everything we do. Well, is she back solid or is she just back?
She says she is.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
let's
talk
see.
to that's fine. Esther, you hired this Sawaya law firm. I imagine it's personal injury. Is it personal injury?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, from a car accident.
What happened?
And I've had 3 attorneys and 3 case workers, and I've never met anybody since April. And I'm very disturbed because all I'm doing is making bills. You know, I go to the doctors, I go to the PTs, I go to the chiropractor, I go everywhere, and all I'm just doing is making bills. And I've never got to see an attorney. I have had 3 attorneys since April, and I've had 3 caseworkers. I don't know what to do anymore.
Let's
with
ask
this
you a few
situation.
questions. When was your injury, Esther?
April 23rd.
And what was it?
2019.
What was it?
It was a car accident that I was not at fault for. A lady turned in front of me, and I T-boned her going 35 miles an hour.
Who got the ticket? Not that it matters. Who got the ticket?
The lady. The lady.
Oh, really? She turned in front of you. Okay, so and Sawaya took the case in April, and did you sign a fee agreement?
Not so far. Nothing. No.
You never signed
what?
anything.
I was supposed to get a call this morning at 8 o'clock from an attorney, and never
Esther,
once have I received a call.
I just need to make absolutely sure you did not sign an agreement of any kind. Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, then just fire him.
I can do that. I was wondering. I needed to know.
Well, first of all, you didn't hire him, okay? As far from what you're telling me, you didn't hire him. Right. You consulted him without a fee agreement, without something. You know, I mean, they can try to give you a hard time, and then you go to the bar or to the Supreme Court Oversight Committee. You know, you don't have a fee agreement. And by the way, in those fee agreements, it just spells out a minimum for hours worked or something. But even with fee agreements, you can get out of it usually if they're not doing any work. They usually don't fight you. I mean, if they haven't contacted anyone, here's where it would be a problem. If it came up to almost you were ready to settle and another attorney took it over. But there's usually a couple reasons you don't hear from attorneys. Now, I don't think it's right, but I'm going to tell you what the reasons are. They don't think you have a good case. They took it just because they're a bunch of hoarders. They take it and then sift through it. Good attorneys sift through it first before they even take it. Okay? They may have just gathered and now they realize it's not worth much, but they don't know how to tell you. Okay? Or they don't tell you. It could be incompetence. They just don't have good attorneys and they keep hiring new ones. You said you had 3 attorneys since it started?
Yes.
Well, how would you know that if you never heard from them? How do you know you have 3 different?
They keep calling me and telling me, this is your new attorney.
Okay, got you. I got you. But they have never initiated contact.
No. He was supposed to at 8 o'clock today, and he never did.
All right, Esther, what you need to do is hang on the line. If we call Sawaya Law Firm, if they're there, they're going to want your permission to talk.
Just get Fuller. Why is she messing around with?
Well, I would fire him, but you know, and then we can get another attorney to talk to you. But I need to know the extent of your. By the way, you said you have bills. Did they tell you to rack up some bills?
Yeah.
They said, hey, go on out and get some bills. Mal, I probably think if they had to tell you that, you probably don't have a good case because weren't you going to get medical attention anyway?
Yeah, I did go into the ambulance, and I've been seeing the PT forever.
But hold on, what diagnosis did you get as a result of the accident?
I've got everything on the left side. I've got a
what
shoulder
diagnosis
impingement.
Did you get from a health?
I have a shoulder impingement. I have a ulnar abutment in my left wrist. I have a bruised rib.
Okay, and who did the diagnosis for you?
The MRI and Synergy, if you know.
But
Synergy.
who? What doctors did you go to?
I went to Synergy, is where he has sent me
Who's he? Who sent you there?
Sawaya. Sawaya has sent me to Synergy. That is who he deals with.
And is it an MD or a chiropractor?
It's a chiropractor.
I think she's doing everything
well,
right.
I'm not saying she's doing it right or wrong. I don't like when attorneys recommend doctors, and they usually recommend chiropractors. And I'll tell you why.
They have to write up reports, Tom. I kind of disagree with that because, you know, we've been in accidents, and if you go to the right or wrong chiropractor, can make a complete difference.
Or doctor, you're right, it can. So you're saying these attorneys know who can do it right.
They know who can represent their client if it came down to court, who knows how to do everything properly.
That's true. And in many cases, they also know the guys that'll exaggerate a little for them.
That's true.
Okay.
It's a fact of life.
So, Esther, here's the deal. I'm not saying Sawaya did right or wrong by you, but I will say this. Perception, to me, means a lot. And if you've not heard from them, they've never initiated contact, and you've had to call them all this, time,
Yes.
why don't you just fire him? If you'd like to know the procedure, we'll find out from John Fuller.
Now, impact traffic.
Why is the person at fault, their insurance company, not taking care of her?
Well, you don't wait for that. Also, in a tort situation, we don't have no fault anymore. She has to wait for the determination before they start paying bills. That's why you get medical payments, to pay your bills until you get a settlement. But or your health insurance. See, it used to be no fault and up to a certain amount, $25,000, and then beyond that, it was
well, that would
tort.
be your insurance, right? Would cover no fault.
Up until tort.
But if the
up
person
until 25, then it goes
if the person
to
that caused the accident was written the ticket,
the determination of fault was not made yet, as far as the civil case.
A ticket does not automatically
credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
Then we'll get another fucking attorney on. John Fuller, Fuller Law, our automobile accident expert. We're trying to call him right now for this case and another case we had. John Fuller, he might be off for the holidays, who knows, but I'll tell you what, he gives you free legal advice when you need it most. You would call him and say, hey, what can I expect? How do you communicate? You can ask him any questions, but ask him about the injuries, ask him about the accident, and he'll give you straight information, because he doesn't want to take a case unless he knows it is a case worth taking, because he only gets paid if you get paid. You can trust him. John Fuller, 303-597-4500, 597-4500.
According to Remodeling Magazine, replacing your garage door is one of the top 3 investments you can make to your
Get
home.
freaking Denver trial lawyers.
And beautifying your largest investment.
What's bothersome about her, she might be 30% at fault. 40% at fault.
Will increase the energy efficiency and functionality
She's racking
of
up
your
these bills
home.
that might
Plus,
not
the
be covered.
LiftMaster can be monitored from your phone. Go to ankmart.com to see all their beautiful garage doors and LiftMaster products, or to book a free estimate. Ankmart, everything doors since 1956.
The Black Friday sales event means store-busting.
Why do I get a number of different notifications that my stream is up on YouTube, and I get them more than once? Do you stop and restart?
No, the computer rebooted automatically by itself. So
but it's because of a new stream, right?
Right. On Facebook, YouTube, it stays the same
Find them
stream.
online at StevensonChevrolet.com. Chevy, find new roads. Stock number 95513.
Just came up and said, hey, I found an error, you're going to get rebooted.
How can you make as much as $1,000 in as little as 10 days? Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky for American Financing, and instead of letting credit card interest compound at 18 or 20% or more, move it into your mortgage at a much lower rate and save up to $1,000 a month. Mortgage rates haven't been this low in over a year, so now is the time to take advantage. As long as you have equity in your home, you can pay off any debt, not just credit cards. And you can get it done in as few as 10 days. So call American Financing's
JFK was 43
consultants
when
today. It takes just 10 minutes to start. There's no
Still
commission, no
pretty young.
obligation, no pressure.
Yeah, he was young
never
as ever,
any
wasn't
upfront
he?
fees, just a loan
I believe so.
customized for your
The mom
needs.
was like
You
50.
might even be able to delay up to 2 months of mortgage payments. You have nothing to lose except a bunch of interest expense.
Right. He
So
would
give him a call.
definitely,
303-695-7000.
Hey, Mark, did you bring in your massage gun?
No, but man, do I love it, boy. It is crazy.
Is this what's the name?
Would you get a massage gun?
Yeah, this thing is like nothing like you see. Yup. It's a jackhammer, man. It doesn't, it's not like a massage or a vibrator. It's pretty quiet, yeah. It's crazy, man.
But you have to have somebody do it.
Guess what? I doubled my income this week.
You use about it anywhere.
I doubled my income on Quora this week. I made 2 cents.
You use it generally like before a workout or after. You could use it yourself, but if you were going to use it,
My all-time earnings, $1.72.
You never put it on your spine, though. I think it'd break your fucking spine.
Quora.com.
Well, you can put different levels, though, can't you?
Yeah, I don't think you've ever put
And
this
you
on
get
your
paid
spine.
for it.
Now they make one. One of the
2 forks.
attachments, the fork goes down.
I saw that because they were doing it on
That's
somebody's
double
neck on the
last
commercial.
It is badass,
All right,
man.
are you going to get one? Everybody I've talked to has got it, loves it.
It's crazy. Mine was 250.
As long as they
When you were
work.
doing
As long as they work. Mark's first one didn't work.
Yeah, my first one
furnace
showed
thing
up.
when you came in here.
Broke.
We run into that all the time.
Yeah, and used.
Furnace.
Well, everybody.
I
Yeah, it
had
was
one
Amazon,
just
but
yesterday.
it was so.
One of the things I had to do this morning before
They
I came in
refunded
was
me,
go
actually.
look at this thing.
$80 one, wasn't it?
People
That was
got an
150.
ancient sewer
What's the name of
system,
the one
right?
you
It's
got?
So you
original
bought
with
it
the home,
used.
80-year-old
Sonic.
cast,
The
deteriorating
good one is
everywhere.
called Sonic, and I got the.
We go in, do the complete diagnosis,
Sure,
give them
It's
2
badass,
premium, 2
man.
mid-range, 2 economy options on what they could do.
It's the real
They
deal.
choose
I mean,
just to
there's
snake
no.
it, right?
There's no
My
joke
guy
about
says,
it.
look, I've seen where these things go right through the cats.
No,
I mean,
no,
you're
that's the
just
brand.
talking about, we don't even know the condition. We've cambered it, we don't even know when you get in there.
Go to one of
Because
the
it's penetrated,
Sonics.
there's roots.
Sonic Pro?
Anyway,
Go to
bottom
this
line
one.
is he went in with it.
I got it. Now,
The why,
Pro
so it kind of diverted it, but back through the other T and went up and cracked the toilet.
that doesn't. No, that's
So,
Sonic, though.
yeah.
Like that one.
So we had written everything up that says, hey, if anything breaks and the sewer system and that, but we didn't say specifically if you can't get through to break the toilet. So they're like, you owe me a new toilet. So I'm going,
Type in Sonic,
okay.
bro.
So I actually
Maybe they sold
went
out.
over there and said to the guy, I said, you know what? There's nothing like starting out the day before Thanksgiving with a really good kick in the nuts.
Actually, I'd spend
We
the
told
extra
you,
15 bucks.
oh yeah.
Or 30 bucks.
And he said, so I've done this 40 years, I gotta tell you. I've only met a handful of people.
Here, I'll show you mine.
as,
Look, I'm logged into my Amazon right now.
Were you so
I have trouble lawyers on for you.
But this is going to be a number one.
Yeah, I'll
Christmas
get 'em on
gift
right away.
What's that?
This is going to be number one Christmas.
So we're gonna
gift.
replace it, we'll
When you
break
look
this
at the
up, I
reviews,
go.
But you let 'em know you were pissed at it.
And I said to him, I said, do me a favor.
5-star, 600.
I only have so many years.
You didn't say don't call me again, did you?
Don't ever call me.
No, you should this wasted all of your good effort. Wait, you should have just not done it. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Esther has a very simple problem. It's a problem we hear about all the time with personal injury attorneys and with attorneys in general. In fact, the number one complaint about attorneys is lack of communication. Now, I get it. When there's a small case they don't want to take, they shouldn't take it. But when they take it, to take it and put it on a back burner, not very good. Now, I haven't had a lot of complaints about Sawaya. One of the biggest complaints I've gotten was from the walking cadaver, the bulldog. The walking cadaver, I call him, just wrinkly skin turning green or ash brown, or it's weird. And he's like, it's like, I'm not sure if he has embalming fluid yet, but he's close. Anyway, the bulldog, we got a lot of complaints about that waste of skin. We also got complaints about other attorneys. Now, I'm not getting this great group of attorneys on for them to weigh in on other attorneys, but I do want to ask them procedurally what to do. Dan is with Denver Trial Lawyers. They're a really good firm. They most likely wouldn't take Esther's minor automobile accident. They do catastrophic injuries on all kinds of stuff, but they do know procedures. Dan, Denver Trial Lawyers, Dan Sloan, a quick question. If I have a personal injury attorney and I want to fire them because I just don't like where it's going, and it's been since April, she's never had them initiate conversation. She says she had to initiate every call. Can you fire an attorney and just move on?
Hi, Tom. Thank you for having me on. The quick answer is yes, of course you can fire your attorney. But there is something that I would encourage Esther to take into consideration before she does, and that is, when does her statute of limitations expire on her claim?
Well, her injury was in April.
Oh, April of this year.
Yes.
And was this an automobile injury?
Yes.
Or was it a slip and fall? Okay.
Automobile
So she's got
accident.
3 years. She has 3 years then within which she has to either file this case or get it resolved. So the answer is yes, Esther, you can fire your attorney anytime you wish.
Okay. Can they claim, well, wait a minute, we've done some work here?
Not if there wasn't a fee agreement like she said.
Well, let's take it in both cases. Let's say, can they, with the absence of a fee agreement, claim they've done work and want to be paid?
They can claim that. I think they would be very unsuccessful in front of the fee dispute committee. And I don't believe if there's a fee agreement, they would be entitled to any fee for the work they did.
Okay, so in either case, you think it would be weighted for the consumer?
If there's a fee agreement and it's a lawful contingent fee agreement, it will probably have some language in there that says if this relationship is terminated, the attorneys are to be paid on what's known as a quantum meruit basis, which means they should be paid for the fair value that they brought to the case. If this just happened in April, and it doesn't sound to me like much has been done, if anything, then that would probably be a very small amount, but they would have a legitimate claim. They may also have incurred some costs out of pocket. I don't know if the case has been filed. If they've gathered medical records, they will have incurred some costs for that.
Okay, all right.
And they will likely want to be reimbursed for those costs.
Now, Esther, you understand what he's saying, right? And you swear you did not sign anything.
As far as I'm saying, yes. No, I haven't signed anything because I've only been to them one time.
And they didn't give you anything to sign?
No, I've only spoke to the guy, Brad, one time.
What about email? Did they ask you to agree to something?
No.
Okay.
No email.
Well, Esther, if you haven't signed a fee agreement with them, then they're not your lawyers.
That's right.
Hey, not only that, they have changed out her lawyers 3 times.
They're not her attorneys, and I agree. So, Esther, you just tell them you don't want to use them anymore and find another attorney. And I'd also put that in writing. DenverTrialLawyers.com, 303-571. No, it's actually 303-647-4435, 647-4435. We have more coming up. I want you to get genuine stem cell therapy if you're thinking about avoiding surgery.
Because it is an alternative to surgery, and Centeno shows
You're going to ask them to trial lawyers also.
They can fix ACL tears, for example.
I was going to ask him a question. You still have him on?
No, ask her to keep going.
Hey, I got a question for the attorney if he's still on. Keep him on.
To take a walk, brothers.
Are you getting coffee?
Do you want one?
If you're going down,
How do
I'd
I
love
do
one.
it for you?
Just cream.
Just cream.
I'll take a Venti white chocolate.
If he comes up with one, I'll get
Oh, good. Then, okay, do you want anything? Because I have another set of hands.
Cream and sweet and low, thanks.
That's the same as me.
3 creams, 1 sweet and low.
I think it's snappy.
Yeah.
Better be hot.
Hustle, I leave in an hour.
He said hustle, he leaves in an hour. I'll make this like your service calls.
Now he's gonna spit in it.
He played for the CFL, man. He was in studio one time. Remember, I said, well, I thought you played real football, not that Canadian shit. That dude could break you in half.
Yeah. See, you should tell him about that gun. That would be good because he's got. Doesn't he do CP?
Yeah, he does, actually. I forget what he does it for, but he's got some, probably from the football days.
Right,
Shit, man.
right. Let me tell you, seriously, everybody loves that. As long as you got a good gun. I mean,
these are the conditions forecasters were warning about strong.
Suzanne was laughing so hard. It hurt so much. It hurt so much, literally, her brain went into... I remember a Chinese chick walking on my back one time. Oh my God.
It's like it hurts so good, and I'm laughing my ass off during this. He's got it on the back of my hamstrings, you know. I just laughed like hysterically, uncontrollably, wasn't I?
Oh, it was crazy.
That's just like the Instagram commercial. She's like, you can't tell if she's laughing or crying or what.
Have you ever had an Oriental massage, a real one?
We
did like
they
a 2
walk
hours
on your back.
couple one. Holy
It was
shit.
weird.
Yeah, they walk all over you.
With their little feet.
They do, man. It's crazy. You're like this.
the feet bound.
I'll tell you what, though. I walked out of there like rubber. It was worth every penny.
Huh.
ABC's Daria Albinger explains.
This is a busy travel day, and you got a great deal on your flight. Good for you.
The closest
Now,
thing
how
I've
about
had,
the
so my
airport
sister
flying
lives
into
in
or out?
Carlsbad, and it's weird. You go to California, and there's Oriental massage everywhere.
Yeah, same with Nevada.
So I've never had anybody walk on my back, I don't think, but it's $39 for an hour.
Yep, they're cheap. We paid like maybe $110 a piece for 2 hours.
That's cheap.
Yeah, it's real cheap, and it was good. I mean, that's really the
I mean, usually you're paying like 80 to 100 bucks.
In a hotel, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Then the last
200 for an
the
hour.
last 20 minutes, she did nothing but our feet. And holy shit, I have never had a good foot massage. That was the first time I ever did. I was like, damn, I like that.
Its first brick-and-mortar retail store in Paramus, New Jersey.
Yeah, you'd think their hands and stuff must just be cramped up.
Yeah, but that's all they do. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, either they got amazing hand muscles or arthritis.
Yeah, exactly.
So did you find the one that you bought?
Yeah, it's unavailable.
Sonic LX. The RPMs are way better. They're
It's
sold
34,
out.
here's one that's 3,200.
You're never going to use. Hey, I'm going to take back that. The brand is good. Sonic's a good brand. You'll never use the 3400. I don't even know why I said that to you. It goes up to 3400 RPMs. If you put that thing on 9, it would fucking put a hole in you. You just simply never would use it. Maybe some football players, somebody might. You'd never put it on 9. It would hurt like hell. It's not, I can't explain it, man. It is like... It's good. You gotta put pressure, though. If you just barely hold it on there, it does hurt.
So it's like a reciprocating saw.
It is. In fact, that's what he said.
Right, they make attachments that you can put on a serpentine saw. But it'd be loud. Is yours loud? That's what. See, some of them, they say they're very loud, but they...
No, this one's fine stuff.
You gotta look at the reviews. The reviews are just amazing on
every brand.
Almost everyone. I've never seen so much good reviews.
And you want one, you just gotta make sure the battery's good, though. You don't want a cheap battery. That LX comes with a great battery.
Is it replaceable?
Yeah, you can buy the handle. Yeah, it's like the whole handle. I haven't priced them, but for the LX you can. I don't know about their other models.
I think we have about 30 volunteers, again, since we had to move the date. Volunteers said, yeah, we can come tomorrow, we'll make it happen. And just coming together, you know, the mission family, the community, our volunteers and supporters.
Hypervolt.
Hypervolt, yeah.
Hypervolt.
But they're $350. Wow. They were kind of, you know, that everybody knocked them off.
Right. And they knocked them off, I think, real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all that.
Traffic.
Are you going to get one?
You
know what you do? Wait till Friday. Amazon, their Black Friday or Cyber Monday.
There's stall being cleared southbound 225 at DTC block in the right lane.
Man, I've been getting over that sinus deal, but I've been using that Afrin shit. That is the worst shit in the world, man. As soon as you get off that nasal spray, you're twice as bad as when you started.
I thought you really could do that.
I couldn't fucking breathe, dude. I had to.
Why don't you go into a take a steam?
I do. I'll tell you, I use sinus rinse twice a day. I love that shit. Love it.
Take a steam and clean.
Mostly cloudy in Denver and 17. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner on 630 KHOW.
The hot tub must help.
It's a hot tub opens you up for sure, but it also actually it has the opposite sometimes. It does the opposite, it makes you worse.
Really?
Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
After he used that massager on me, the next morning it felt like I had a workout.
Really?
Like, oh.
So you were sore?
Not sore in a bad way.
I bet you anything, if you literally put it on your stomach, it forces you to tighten up. I mean, your abs.
Oh, yeah.
I bet it would literally work into a six-pack.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because you gotta, I mean, if you don't tighten up, that thing would fucking knock the wind out of you. It's funny when you describe it, it's like violent.
Well, I was looking because I think I've seen this massager on Instagram, like the little commercials.
Oh, the Vortex or something like that?
The Hypervolt is the...
Hypervolt.
Ours is the Sonic. They're all the same.
Sonic LX, okay.
You're just buying a good brand.
But like I say, even the bad brands got like 3.5 stars.
It's freezing.
I got another one brand new in the box sitting in my kitchen now.
My office is always like 15 degrees colder than the rest of the office. I love it that way.
So where do you keep your house at?
Well, the house is different.
We're at 67 this year.
68's
too goddamn hot.
We keep ours at 70, 71.
Do you really? That'd be way too hot to me.
The majority of our clients will set it to 73.
Holy shit, I'd burn up. In the night,
Tommy?
you mean even during the night?
No, night.
I have the right number, you have the wrong number. No, I just need
at night.
his
Wait, they don't want this number?
No,
Go.
it's the 571, so clarify, he's still on.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and we are shooting trouble. This hour brought to you by RealCBD@Works.com. Yes, they have an amazing Black Friday sale that you're going to get a lot off, so do it. Call them, or not call them. You just order online. It's Panacea Life Sciences in Golden, pharmaceutical grade, Black Friday pricing. I don't know exactly what they're taking off, but they said it's fantastic, and it'll be the lowest prices of the year. Yeah, so that's RealCBD@Works.com. So now, we have some interesting things that come up on this show, and we consult experts. You know, that's why we have Bob Logan here from Plumbline Services. We have Mike Robinson from Smith Plumbing and Heating in the Springs. We talk about a lot of different things and customer service. And when it comes to law firms, Esther was pissed off because she never heard from her attorney, and she wants to fire him. And all she has to do is fire him. You know, if you have an attorney, you can fire him. Now, there is what he said, quantum merit, which means if they've gotten value, you pay for the value. But they can't, with the lack of a fee agreement, they're not going to get anything from you because they don't represent you. And this is Sawaya Law Firm we're talking about. And Esther, you should just call and say you don't want to do business with them anymore and move on. Now, our expert at Denver Trial Lawyers, Dan Sloan, I have a question for him. We had a discussion in the office I'd like to pose to you. And I'm not sure. I always get this wrong on what exactly this it's the egg skull theory or the eggshell skull
theory.
Whatever the hell it is.
I'd use the Latin word, but I prefer not to.
So you know what we're talking about, I'm sure. And can you explain it, Dan, in a nutshell, what it is?
In a nutshell, what it means is that you take your injured person as you find them. In other words, because somebody may be more susceptible to a certain type of injury does not mean that they get penalized because of their susceptibility to that kind of injury.
So really, I mean, if somebody is very old and frail and you injure them, you can't make the argument, hey, if this was a normal person, they wouldn't have these catastrophic injuries.
That is correct.
Now, I want to bring that down the road a little.
Yeah, he has a question on you take your victims as you find them, right? Now, so listen to Mark's scenario that he brought up this morning.
If I'm gonna put it in two different ways. If some moron's not wearing a seatbelt and you T-bone him, and his damages, his injuries are way worse than if he was wearing them, or somebody in the state of Colorado, we don't have a helmet law. They're on a motorcycle without a helmet and have traumatic brain injury, but you have doctors saying if there was a helmet on, he wouldn't. Does that same theory apply?
I'm really interested in that. Does that apply? Do you take your victim as you find them, and it's hey, they just happen to not being wearing a seatbelt, so screw you. You have to pay the extra injury.
Well, those scenarios are different. Those
Okay.
are different than the eggshell victim scenario.
What would be different?
Okay, first of all, there's a statute in Colorado that says if you're not wearing your seatbelt, you don't recover for your physical pain and suffering.
Oh, really?
You recover for your out-of-pocket medical expenses and your economic losses.
Whoa.
Okay, just
hold on. That's I want people to know that.
That's crazy.
And then what about the other
How
one?
about if they're a minor, though? I'm just curious.
If they're a minor, I
It
don't
doesn't.
know.
The parents would be responsible for that.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. If it was a minor, like a 10-year-old, and you forgot to tell him to buckle in, does he get any other damages or she?
That's a great question.
I'm the curveball expert.
So what I'd like to know, Dan, is so the theory that you take your victim as you find them does not apply to people not wearing seatbelts. What if someone did something else that was stupid? Like, for example...
Well, how about the helmet, though? Because we don't have a helmet law in Colorado.
Right.
So there's a legal concept called mitigation of damages, which means you have to take reasonable actions to not cause yourself more injury
Okay.
or worse injury.
Okay.
And so that the lack of a helmet would be brought up as a partial defense under what's called an affirmative defense of mitigation, failure to mitigate your damages, but there wouldn't be any prohibition on recovering for the brain injury or the permanency or anything to do with that. It would just be something that would be weighed by a jury, and they would say, okay, well, maybe we don't want to give this person as much money as we would had they been wearing a helmet, because everybody knows you should wear a helmet. So that's how that would play out.
Okay.
Of course, if they don't have a helmet, they probably already have brain damage. So,
yeah,
good one.
Could be. So, Dan, the mitigation theory goes with a bunch of stuff, right? I mean, obviously, the people defending against that, these guys in the plumbing and heating business, and if something went wrong with what they did, and some guy just washed the water, gush out and gush out and gush out, and didn't do anything to change that, cannot get them for a toilet that they did. They can't get them for an entire house full of water under certain circumstances. So Dan, I appreciate you being here. And again, this number, I had given out two numbers for our people, but I'm going to give out this one: 303-571-5302. Is that the preferred number there, Dan?
That's our best number.
Okay, and all consultations are free. And catastrophic injuries, how would you best define a catastrophic injury? Or I guess you don't want people, if a product blew up in their face and they have internal head damage, they don't even know it. I mean, obviously, there are times people are more damaged than they think. There are many times people exaggerate how damaged they are. But how would you define catastrophic?
Any kind of injury can be catastrophic to the person who suffers it, and I don't want to minimize anybody's injuries, Tom. The type of people we represent at this firm will have usually permanent spinal cord injuries, permanent brain injuries. That's not to say a mild traumatic brain injury is not a catastrophic injury, because it most definitely is and can be. Broken bones, broken necks, anything that alters the course of someone's life is catastrophic to them. Of course. We're very sensitive to that at this firm. And I and everybody here are happy to talk with people, whether they think it's catastrophic or not. We're happy to talk with them and give them advice when we can. And if it's not a case that we're able to help them with, we can certainly refer them to other people that can. So I don't want to not talk to someone because they don't think they're catastrophic.
Right. No, I understand that. Thank you.
Everybody.
DenverTrialLawyers.com. Thank you. John has a tax issue. And then now we're going to talk about some interesting cases having to do with problems with plumbing, heating, cooling, electric. We talked about that one where Bob, basically offered a free furnace so he could prove he was right with the old one, prove they were right. I'm going to talk about some interesting scenarios that come up in that business. What's going on, John?
Yeah, Tom, I had a question about my tax return.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir. What is it?
In 2015, I worked as a 1099 employee, and I worked about half the year in Colorado, and I got one 1099. And then I worked the second half of the year in Kansas, and I got one more 1099.
Okay.
I recently got a notice from Colorado that my tax return, my tax preparer did a Kansas tax return, but not a Colorado tax return. And therefore, I owe state of Colorado, about $1,100.
Well, that's true. You owe the tax that wasn't paid.
Is this going to...
But you should get it back. What you really need to do is go back in time, hire an accountant or a CPA to go back and modify it, because you have to pay both states.
Well, of course.
Well, he needs to get his money back from Kansas, so is what I'm saying.
No, he had to pay Kansas too, but did he pay Kansas for both 1099s?
That's what I'm guessing.
Did you pay in Kansas the state tax for just the Kansas income, or did you include all income? Do you know?
I think he included everything, and where I'm at is...
Okay, so hold on.
If Colorado contacted me.
Okay, hold on, though. If you paid overpaid in Kansas, it's very easy to modify with an amended return and get that money back. Now, moving to Colorado, you never paid, so you have to pay. So
and
what
the penalties?
So what and interest? So what are your questions?
Okay, my question is the gentleman who did my tax return.
Yes.
I've been trying to get him to do this, to fix this, for about the last 5, maybe 6 months.
Well, why wouldn't you just use someone else? Why use him?
Well, I just kind of.
Plus, you're racking up fees.
That's right to the point, bro. Why don't you just get it done? I don't understand. What is the hang up?
Well, he asked. My tax preparer said, "Do not talk to the state of Colorado. Let me handle this."
And then you haven't heard from him.
It should be fairly simple to figure this out. I was a 1099 employee, and I think the only expenses I have are mileage, tools, and health insurance. And shouldn't this be simple?
Of course, John. What you need to do is file a simple state return. But here's the good news. State returns usually simply ask questions that you've already filled out on a federal return. So as far as your expenses and stuff. But remember this. You can only take the Colorado expenses associated with the Colorado income. If you have universal expenses, then you have to allot a certain amount to Colorado and a certain amount to Kansas. You don't get to take all your expenses in each place. But, John, let's get right to the real point. You do realize you owe the tax, the preparer does not owe it. Can we agree on that?
Yes, I would agree with that.
And would we agree that you owe the interest on that because you had the benefit of that money for this much time, therefore you're responsible for the interest? I think everyone agrees that when a mistake is made, it's on your tax, you owe the tax, and you owe the interest. I do believe if there are penalties, the preparer should pay them, but it depends on your agreement. So if you have anything specific, we'll talk about it.
The reason the guy's not doing it is because he probably said you're paying it. I mean, that's what I think. I mean, you don't know how many people come to us believing that the preparer owes the tax.
Right. Oh, that's crazy.
Well, they say, well, I had the money, now I don't. I mean, they come up with all kinds of
yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. And then
you know I'm a CPA, right?
What's that?
You know I'm a CPA, right?
Are you?
I did. Yeah.
I did public accounting for 5 years.
Cool.
Yeah. So
I got
to meet all
like it anymore?
No. Can you see me sitting at a desk doing public accounting?
Instead of letting credit card
Audits.
Pro football,
CPA. I used to walk in to do audits, and people would be like,
and save up to $1,000 a month.
the mob just showed up. Yeah, no, I did that 5 years, tax returns for people, and all the nutsy stuff they do. You know, that's how I got my first company. I was doing the tax returns for the guy, his quarterlies and his tax returns for a small HVAC company in Kenosha, Racine. And I met him in the grocery store while I was working at IBM in Chicago. He says, "Going to sell my company." I go,
You have nothing to
"No,
lose
you guys
except
can
a
you come in
bunch
and help
of
me
expense.
put a
So
value
give 'em a
sheet
call,
together?"
303-695-7000.
Yeah, I can come in. So I go through the whole thing and
That's
going through the whole thing with him.
303-695-7000.
As I'm putting it together, he goes, "Yeah, I'd like to get
Online at
$100,000 for it." I'm going,
NMLS 182334 regulated by the
"Get about $186,000 in assets here."
And I've got to give you.
So you bought it.
So I bought it. I
He said,
did.
you know, this thing isn't worth
That
more than
wasn't this
20.
company.
I'll give you 30 for it.
No, I said, I'll give you 100, but I got to pay you over the next year. Right?
Do you still have that company?
No, I sold that in Service Experts back in '97.
Oh my goodness gracious! So you've been doing this for a long time, and you didn't do accounting.
I'm old, man.
No, you did accounting years ago.
Yeah, the '80s.
And changing the way people print. Less frustration.
Of course, I do all my own, close my own books, and
Dude,
get all my stuff.
Remember,
prepared.
everyone's old compared to someone,
Yeah.
and everyone's young compared to someone.
Well, that's not true.
So,
There is the
yeah,
oldest person in the world.
Yeah.
I do the. I get everything prepared and then I send it. The guy who does my taxes was the tax manager at the accounting firm when I was there in the 80s.
So you prepare it?
I do everything. I prepare everything and I almost like a review, and then I send it to him and he looks at the computer, does the taxes for me. Because anymore, back in the day we learned how tax forms work, and you had to know where everything was, right? Well, now these people do it today. If you gave them the paper copies, most of them could never complete
No,
a
they
tax
plug it
return.
into an app.
They put it into an app. This goes here, the forms print out.
I know.
You know, you say forms to people, and they're like, because it's just chunks of info, right? Business info.
I'm not putting aftershave in my turkey brine.
Allspice, that one, okay. That is a
Jeez,
spice.
I wonder if anybody's ever been so stupid they do that. They run to their bathroom and grab some Old Spice. No, I said allspice, not Old Spice.
Hey.
Don't tell me you've done that.
He has Alzheimer's, so don't give him a hard time about the Old Spice.
The Raleigh House is an addiction treatment program with several locations. Now, we could just do a commercial and give you the number, but what they want
My
to do is
favorite
give you
one was
information, and
my
then you
favorite
make the choice.
tax
They wanna
return
help you
of all
make the
time
right
was
choice. They'll talk
I was
about
working with this
costs,
guy who
programs,
was a little
scholarships,
business, small
whether
business
insurance
owner.
pays, how insurance
I
pays,
kept saying
what's
to him,
involved, how long it is,
John,
what signs do I look
you know,
for,
if you,
what is recovery,
I'm looking at your stuff. This is my third or fourth year doing this for you. I go, you have net income of
what starts an addiction, how do you know there is an addiction?
$23,000.
Any
You work all
question
year
you have,
long for
and
this
it's
thing.
confidential and it's complimentary.
Oh, that doesn't include the cash I take.
9722. This is so important because things never
And I
change
go,
without some
you
kind of
didn't
help.
just say that
They'll
out
just
loud.
stay the same, and another day goes by. That's
It's,
painkillers, meth,
Did you
amphetamines,
estimate
alcohol,
what that
whatever
number
the
is for me
addiction.
so I can continue to be your accountant, or would you prefer to go to another company at
That's
this point?
You know,
720-730-9722.
I've been looking at a number of companies that are looking to sell in Denver, and every single one of them
Tells you that?
it tells me that. They say a big portion of my income comes from the cash that I don't report.
And you're like,
I'm like,
what are you
Well, that's the go-to answer. The problem is you don't know if it's true. It
right,
could be
they could
complete
just not
bullshit.
making any money, but,
So you know what the
we
answer
do
is?
have a lot of cash transactions. I mean, I would probably say
This report is sponsored by
Yeah,
Credit
there's a lot.
Karma.
10%.
Yeah.
10% what?
Of our business is
10
cash,
to
like
15%.
as in green.
Yeah.
And
I
most,
can't
most,
remember when I paid cash last.
most
Guys,
companies
they-
do not
Get your truly
report it.
free credit scores.
$7,400 and $100 bills.
Credit
See,
monitoring.
to me, that would say,
How much
what else
is
are
it that you have to
you
report?
illegal on?
Download the Credit Karma app
For
now.
what?
Well,
Karma.
from a consumer standpoint, you don't know that.
Right,
you
right,
know?
but I'm saying if you're looking at buying something
Right,
like that,
right,
you say,
right.
you know, what else are you,
Yeah,
you
what
know,
else
out
are you?
there?
What else are you
I don't
manipulating
think
or
you have to
trading?
report it. The banks have to report it.
And then they
Like
want
if we do
way
deposits
more
in
than these
banks
companies are
at
worth.
10,000 or more, then we have to they have to report that deposit to the government.
It is, whether they're selling a car, it doesn't matter what it is, they always think it's worth way
No,
more
right,
than it
right.
is.
Right.
It's too bad.
So Bob, here's what you do.
And trans,
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, let's talk and find out what we can do for you. Tell me what we can do for you. All you have to do is call. Natasha has a follow-up.
So, Natasha, what are we following up? What is this about, Natasha?
Hi, Natasha. I've talked with you twice before, Tom.
And what's going on?
Well, I spoke with the Denver trial attorneys. They did not want to take my case because of the fact that I was hired on a contract basis, and my contract allowed termination at will. So that piece may be dead, and that's okay with me. My concern is still the fact that the organization that I worked for has created a hostile culture for the clients, and where
Okay,
they're not
well, explain the situation. How long have you been? How long were you there?
I was there a total of 25 years.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and you were a W-2 employee.
The first 20 years I was a regular employee. Then I quit working because I partially retired, and I went back in 2014 on a part-time basis as an hourly worker. So that last 5 years I was only working.
Well, hold on, but the first 20 years you were also hourly, right, or not?
No. The first 20 years I was a regular employee. I was not hourly.
Well, what does that? Regular employees are hourly. I mean, they may not express it that way, but according to wage and hour, you are. I mean, or you're non-exempt. Here's all I need to know. Did you get a W-2 your first 20 years?
Yes.
And you got a W-2 the last 5 years?
Yes.
Okay, that's all. Then you were the same. Okay, so what's going on now? What can we help you with?
Okay. So the situation was that a client where I worked was perpetrated by a staff member. The
Was
staff member
perpetrated. What does that mean?
Sexually.
Oh,
The staff member-
assaulted. The word. Okay, so they perpetrated a sexual assault.
Yes, actually, technically that's the way it was, even though it was consensual, and that's because the client was in a community correctional facility.
Oh, wait. Natasha, I'm sorry. This whole thing, all you had to tell me was this had to do with that inmate. I'm sorry. I mean, we have talked about this a ton, and I have found someone who wants to hear about it. Suzanne, a little hint would have helped here on the corrections thing. We've been following this along forever, and I'm making you explain this just to make. This is the same problem, right? We've talked before, right?
Yes, we have.
Okay, so Natasha worked at a corrections facility. It's called Community Corrections. It's an alternative to jail. It's meant to rehabilitate better. It's meant to let people get exposed to real life while serving time. So she's in this community corrections house, and her job was to make sure it was a compliance position, and because there is a law that says the law was passed because there was too much sexual assault going on in prisons. So this was an actual anti-sexual assault initiative, and they put compliance officers in facilities. You were one of them, right? Okay. And while you were at this facility, you got wind of this situation. The director of the house, the director of the house had sex with or perpetrated an assault, or somehow they had sex, a sexual encounter, and he was intimidated, this inmate, so he went along with it. I mean, but it bothered him. And also the director's daughter did it too. I think it had to do with, it wasn't actual intercourse, but it was just whatever. And so it doesn't matter. It was sexual, and it was a relationship. And he talked to his counselor about it because he was concerned, and he felt forced. Well, obviously you would. If you're an inmate and you're and the director of the house, a female, starts coming on to you, you feel intimidated. So when he told his counselor, did his counselor tell you?
No, his counselor, because the week that this happened in April, and that particular week I happened to be out for 2 days. When I came back the following week, I was told by the director of the agency that I was not allowed to investigate the case. And I asked why, because that was my complete job.
But here's what I want to know.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Why didn't they just not even mention the case? Why would they say, by the way, we have a case here that you're not to investigate? I mean, how did you get wind of the case to begin with?
The director of the program called me the day that I came back.
And said, there's something going on you need to know about, but we're handling it.
Exactly. She said, and this particular staff member was put on leave and allowed to resign, by the way.
Okay.
Where I was fine.
So the director resigned, right?
Well, she went on leave. Yes, she ended up resigning.
And was the daughter an employee as well?
No, but the daughter was at the facility plenty of times.
I understand. Okay, so the daughter just went along for the ride. So, no pun intended. So basically, the two of them, the director was fired, and here's what I find tragic: the inmate was sent back to prison.
Yes.
Why did they punish him?
I believe they punished him because they wanted to keep the whole thing quiet.
But that would be the opposite. I mean, to keep it quiet, they should say to him, listen, we're not going to punish you. Just keep your mouth shut. It seems to me by sending him back to prison, you basically he has nothing to shut up for. I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me, this strategy. But in any case, they sent him back to jail. Right now, does this guy care that he was sent back to jail?
Very much.
Does he feel like he was mistreated?
Yes, he was afraid before he was sent back that he was going to be retaliated against. And he told me that the day he was returned to custody.
Yeah, so he's upset, and he should be upset because they screwed with him. They screwed with him big time. All right, next question, which is pretty serious. Why did you get fired?
The ostensible reason that I was given was because I did not report to my supervisor, who was the director of the agency, about an incident where another client, who was in our outpatient program, told his counselor that he also was approached by the same staff member to have sex with her and her daughter.
But why would you get fired? I don't hear an answer to that question.
Because what the director told me was because I didn't tell her about that situation.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, so why do you think you got fired?
I think I got fired because I had, starting in April, spoken to the Office of Behavioral Health, who is the licensing body of all substance abuse programs in the state of Colorado. I had talked with them ongoing about this situation once that client was returned to prison because I thought it was retaliatory.
Yeah, so why wouldn't your group stick up for you? Your category is to fight this kind of thing. So why would your colleagues not be in concert with you?
I think my colleagues would have. The director has a very hush-hush policy and has created a pretty hostile work environment.
The director of this house who got fired, or the director of your program?
The program? Right, the director of the program.
And that director of the program is still in place?
Yes, without any consequences or anything.
Okay, so Natasha, the reason we're talking to you again, you may wonder why. I don't know, did someone tell you to call up because we wanted to talk to you?
No, I called back because you guys had referred me to the Denver trial attorneys.
I wanted them to look at it, Denver trial lawyers. The reason is they take all kinds of unusual cases like this. So hold on. That's one of them. What are you looking for one?
I use it, and I've heard you talk.
I would use this. I would, for someone your size and someone like you, I would use the full spectrum, which is that 75 soft gels. That's what I would use.
Or the oil.
The oil, of course. The oil is really strong.
I do oil now. I like using oil.
But those soft gels are really tolerable. They're good. No aftertaste. Nothing.
Which is the place that had the Black Friday sale you were saying? Which is the place you're having the Black Friday sale?
Oh, the real one, realcbdthatworks.com. They're good people. That's the one you have right there.
It is?
Yeah, that product is their product. Mark, it just zipped. All of those. It took like 20 minutes or so. And the zip file, once it zipped, I don't know where the zip file went. It didn't get
probably blocks it. You probably can't do zip files.
It didn't get...
I warned you that. Yeah, I don't think it gets through the firewall. I don't think it takes it.
Okay, so I just have to hand by hand.
You can't unzip it.
Okay, gotcha.
Get it
so what I have to do is, I know what I'm going to do now that you showed me how to do this. So the lunch does no longer count because he can't give me the zip file. Do you agree? Thank you. Because otherwise I'd gladly pay. You know that. You know that I'd gladly pay, right, Dano? Thank you, Dan. But I don't think it's right for me to have to pay. Do you, Dano?
Not if you can't use it.
Right. Thank you, Dano. See, Dan knows. Dan really knows.
I'm not going to judge.
He knows. Judge Judy.
Hey, so a guy this morning I talked to had arthritis. He had to cut his, it was so bad he had to cut his wedding ring off. He went to Panacea Life. He actually went there. They walked him through it. He was able to get it off and stuff. He's much better on his arthritis.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
He will be calling in too. But he wanted me to say that. I think it's helping my sleep.
Holy shit! I can't get over the price of that.
Which one? Which one?
$22,000
for what?
4 seasons at Bora Bora.
That's where you did those little on the water things. Huh?
I bet that is it. It comes with a $5,000 shopping spree at the local mall.
Yeah, what do you get?
Well, I prefer to knock $5,000 off the price.
Right. You probably get 5 T-shirts and
Suzanne would like that though. Daily breakfast, lunch, and dinner with fire dancers. Oh, you get spa treatments every day, though.
But what was it?
You get a submarine excursion. Jesus Christ, actually, I've never heard of anything with all this shit. I might have to run out to the store. I'm getting to the point I can't even talk.
God, it just...
Does my voice sound different?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I can't believe how bad it is.
Don't you, if you massage it and stuff, it loosens it up?
Yeah, if I just walk around, it loosens up. It's sitting down. I'm going to run out and get somewhere else. I'm going to be screwed. I'll be right back.
What happened, Mark?
I can barely talk.
But
I'm
why?
so stuffy. Well, I've been fighting a sinus infection.
But you've been using that.
I've been using Sudafed and Afrin for about a week, and I figured today I was feeling so good, forget about it. And that's what happened.
That Afrin it's not the Sudafed that's bad, it's the Afrin, right?
Oh, Afrin's horrible for you.
It is. You get hooked on the shit.
Yeah. You get hooked, and that's where I'm at right now. Now I have to go have it now, or else I can't breathe. God, that hit me like a... What's the closest place I can get Afrin right here?
What's that?
What's the closest place I can get Afrin?
There is a it's Walgreens, man.
Where is it?
You got to get on Bellevue and go out to Broadway. There's Walgreens there. That's the one I know. Hold on, there's a King Soopers the other way on Bellevue, on Yosemite.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a pain in the ass.
Don't like convenience stores typically have Sudafed?
Oh yeah, right there. You can go to that gas station.
Right in the corner there.
You think they'll have it?
Yeah, they usually have like aspirin and Sudafed and stuff like that. Yeah.
I've never taken that, but I've never will.
So the 75 milligram.
It makes you just.
Yeah, that's what I would
have
get.
to use it all the time. Mike, you should try this massage gun too.
Yeah, I've got one.
You got one?
Yeah.
You love it?
Yeah.
Everybody I talk to just loves them things. What brand did you get? The Apple, Amazon, or?
Yeah, it was off Amazon.
Is it a
big one? Yeah.
Of course, it's off Amazon. Do you shop anyplace else?
Yeah, it's for.
It's really. Honest to God, it's really true. I mean, I have found it so convenient.
Yeah.
I don't fuck around. And the worst thing a local retailer can say when I really need something is, we can order it for you. I said, do I look like a moron? I mean, I'll go and order it and save money. I mean, if I wanted to order it, I wouldn't come here.
Right.
It's like, why do you even ask that? Did you ever have somebody tell you that?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we can order it for you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, we got to put a furnace in. But not that one in stop. We get it here tomorrow. Well, okay.
Did you get the expensive $400 one, or?
Yeah, it was.
So that's that Hypervolt probably.
Yeah,
that was like almost original.
I'm gonna say it was almost $500.
Yeah. So you got it early. Now they're getting much cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, my son plays hockey too, right? So he was telling me about this thing because they get their quads, because they're skating all the time, get tight. So he said, some of the guys are talking about getting this. So I was like, get one. My traps and neck are always, sore from too many years in fullbacks in the mouth. But so I said, yeah, get that, and we'll try it. He got it, and I was like, wow.
I know that's everybody says, and I can see right up here and stuff where that's what most people do.
It's just, I ice too, but I usually use that first at the end of the day. Kind of relieves all the tension. I throw ice on there, and usually I'm good to go.
So your son play college hockey, or what?
He's playing the USHL right now.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So Natasha, who was working at this halfway house, it's not a halfway house, community corrections, whatever. The guy had sex with the director of the house. He felt intimidated. He complained about it. He went back to prison. She got fired. I told her, Denver trial lawyers, they take on nursing home abuse and assisted living, and they take on all kinds of weird injuries and economic losses, and who knows, they might have an opinion on this. As to the injured guy, the inmate, I think, was severely injured, and I think Natasha was injured. I just wanted to get their take on it. So did you call them?
I did.
Okay, what did you find? Anything? Did they say anything of note?
Yes. Well, what they said was that they wanted to speak to the client who had been returned to custody. So I gave their information to that person. They said that because of the way that I was hired on a contract where I could be terminated at will, they couldn't help me with having been fired.
Okay, because they felt you were not discriminated against.
Well, no, it's just they felt like I didn't really have any rights in the situation because I was an at-will employee.
I get it.
Yeah, my concern, though, is that no one that I've contacted has been interested in following up on
Well,
this.
that's because there's no damage there for them to go after. I mean, why would they follow up? If you want to pay someone by the hour, you'll get all kinds of people to do it. But, I mean, it's a very simple proposition. No one's in it for righteousness, okay? Every once in a while, you get an attorney who'll take something for righteousness because they think but when I say righteousness, you have to understand something. They feel it's good because of the what they can do with it. In other words, what they can make hay with it, a name for themselves. I don't think anyone does it just to be good. I mean, I wish they did, but nobody cares. I care because this man, I care more about him than you. I'm sorry, but this man went back to prison, and I think it's terrible what happened to him. And I don't mean that as a bad thing, but anyway.
There's also 2 other clients besides that one who also reported in one way or another having sexual contact with this same staff member, who, again, was allowed to resign. And my concern is, again, that the administration is hush-hushing.
Well, they are. Clients. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind they are. I mean, you have a good case. What I'm saying is, to get people where they care, you have to have outrage. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein, okay, that loon that did all this to young girls, or the gymnastic committee for overlooking this coach or this doctor, for abusing young girls. Here you have an inmate who was abused by a director of the House, and there's nothing. I think it's terrible, but there's no damage worth going after for people that want to put in time and money. There's nothing there. It is a good story, but it doesn't cost me a dime to pursue a story. For you, I don't know what you're looking for. What are you exactly looking for? And I want the truth. I don't want to hear about, things. I want to know the God's honest truth. Are you looking to get reinstated or for monetary damages?
No.
What are you looking for?
I am looking for the clients to have more rights than what they have. And
but there's no one that can help you with that. And Natasha, that's why when you go to Denver trial lawyers, they can't help you. Well, you're looking for. There's nowhere to go for that. You go and you go to your representative. You go to your senators. You get laws passed. But there's nothing. When people have these lofty ideals and they think something should be done, it's wonderful. That's how things get changed. But what I'm saying to you is, by coming on radio, I think inmates should have more rights. Okay, I want to know specifically, what do you mean? If we were going to write a law, specifically, what are you talking about?
It's already been written. It's called the Prison Rape Elimination Act.
Okay, what about it? He wasn't raped.
No, it counts for any kind of sexual assault or harassment.
Okay, so what about it? You're saying it wasn't enforced, okay? So you're not saying that you want more rights for inmates. What you're saying, Natasha, is exactly what you said from the beginning. There's an unjust situation that happened, and everyone is turning their back. Okay, It's true. And sometimes 10 years later, someone gets wind of a story like this and they make a screenplay. Look at these 5 that were let out of prison, or these 6 black men sent for this rape. Oh my God, it was the most horrendous story in the world. I couldn't even watch the movie. It's so painful. But that's a major deal. We had 6 kids in prison for life, where you have one guy that was in prison anyway. He was put into this halfway, whatever you call it, community corrections, and the director felt him up, and now he's back in prison. I think how much damage was done to him. He could have emotional trauma and all that, but there's nothing. What I'm saying is, it's not so egregious that you're going to have people protesting outside of the prison. It just doesn't conjure up that much support. I think it's terrible. Now, if you had mass cases, if you had even of 5 or 6 men that were abused by this woman, and she was finally found out. She was allowed to resign. These guys all went back to prison. Even that would be better than just one time it happening. I don't even know if they acknowledge this happened. I don't know the official reason she was fired. Well, she wasn't fired. She resigned. So there is no official wrongdoing recorded anywhere. It's only you saying this happened. Does the inmate say it happened? Maybe I should talk to him directly. And trust me when I tell you, I am outraged by this. In fact, the reason I'm outraged is because if this was a woman, it would be on the front page of all the newspapers, just one woman. If a guy felt up an inmate, a female inmate, and he was allowed to resign, and she was put back to prison, you would have every celebrity and group in the nation on national news shouting about it. But it just doesn't get the support when it's a man. I don't know why. It just doesn't. It's unfair. I mean, let's brainstorm. I mean, Bob, when you hear this, what is your initial reaction? When you heard this guy was felt up and sent back to prison, what was your initial? I mean, it is terrible, isn't it?
Well,
it's terrible.
I really don't know what opinion to have. I mean, I don't know enough of the story. Was this guy, was he an adult? Was he?
Yeah, he's an adult inmate.
And it was consensual. And
well, apparently, but it's really not. I mean, how is it consensual? That's like Harvey Weinstein saying it was consensual. This woman, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
when you have an imbalance of power, there is no
I agree
consensual.
wholeheartedly with that.
There is no consensual.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there was truly, I mean, really, if the warden of a prison, attacks you, or wants to have sex with you, you're in prison.
And anytime there's somebody in a person of power that takes advantage of somebody who.
But how do we get people worked up about it? I mean, first of all, I can see why Denver trial attorneys say, look, this is not a case. This is not an injury. There's no money to pursue. I can see that. But isn't it still egregious to someone? Does anyone listening care right now that there was an inmate who was in a community corrections program and the director assaulted him sexually? She was allowed to resign and he was sent back to prison.
It's absolutely egregious.
Now, impact trap.
But you're
this
right.
poor woman.
By Credit Karma.
But you're absolutely right. There's got to be enough more for people to care.
Did you say that?
The big thing is, to me, it's not. She put her hand down his pants.
What do you think? What do you think, Mike?
Well, why do you go back to prison?
The case, it sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, but this is the real world we live in.
What all happened?
Oh, got it.
The real world we live in doesn't care anymore.
And see, he had been abused as
We
a
have
kid.
2 others coming in.
And that's why he was in this special program.
Okay.
Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
What do you mean you getting?
Okay, so retro foam, Rocky Mountain retro foam. What the hell is it? Well, it's foam. Okay, they call it retro because it's made for homes that are already built and you need insulation, or you don't even know you need insulation. But if you have regular insulation, this stuff will help you. FoamYourWalls.com. Now, if you have an older home, you definitely need it. What it does is it goes into your walls. It's injected into your walls. It's not a spray. It's not an epoxy. It's not an AB. It's a foam, kind of like a shaving cream, a little more firm. It goes into every nook and cranny. It pushes the old insulation out of the way. It decreases energy bills up to 50%. It makes your house 80% more quiet. And I love this. It's environmentally friendly. There's no off-gassing with this stuff. So you have this insulation with every nook and cranny in your wall. And here's the best part. It doesn't disrupt your living space because you can have it done from outside the house in one day. Boy, insulating has never been so easy. You need to look at this video. You'll be convinced. FoamYourWalls.com. FoamYourWalls.com, 720-676-6333. FoamYourWalls.com.
It is a husband-wife team, so I could keep one with me if you wanted.
It doesn't matter. We'll do whatever.
Okay. Here's going to be our referral list number.
If you do sub it, you should do it with these. You'll never find a better product.
So,
are you looking at it?
I'm looking at it right now, yeah.
No downside. Yeah, these guys are minor, by the way. This
Oh no, they're porch pirate. That's what I'm saying. They're husband and wife. One of them can sit.
Or they,
with me.
yeah, or
keep
whatever.
The
It's just what I'm saying is it doesn't have to displace anyone, really. You know.
No. But
okay.
yeah.
As far as seats, I get you.
So one more time on that, it's called TrueCBD.com.
Or you do Panacea Life is the name of the
I've got it, but they don't have any discounts that I see on
You
it.
got to put in, I think, when you order it.
Oh,
okay, well, see, now, hold on. Suzanne, we need, well, actually, I don't know that. Do you know that?
I heard it on a commercial.
Oh, well, I didn't even know that. Suzanne, we need to ask these people, where's the Black Friday deals, because there's no special
not
price.
the Black Friday, there's just a
So,
commercial.
I would like to know if they can come on and talk about it.
I was referring to Mike. He has a Black Friday
No,
special.
I'm talking about Panacea Life Sciences.
Oh, they haven't answered my text yet.
Oh my
I
God.
texted Jamie and I said, look, we want to get you on for your Black Friday special. So
Okay,
no, I thought you were
I'm
talking
gonna do
about
it.
As soon as you do that, we'll get that. Yeah, we got a Black Friday coming up too.
What's your Black Friday?
40%
No, I'll get you
off,
in. I'll get you in.
12 systems. So it's like anybody else who does something crazy. Basically, for us, that's about our cost on 12 systems, just for
that's a hell of a
Friday and
deal.
Saturday. Yeah, I mean it's a real deal. Off our normal pricing, and jack it up, and normal, how we do things, right? We do it by the book. We don't. So yeah, 12 systems we're offering. 4 on Friday, 4 on Saturday, 4 Sunday. We have 4 appointments each day, and
so just 4 and 4. Okay.
4 appointments each day, where they have the chance to buy. We offered 3 systems. Our best sellers.
Are you guys slammed right now? What?
No.
No?
We're steady, not slim.
Are you not getting cold down there?
Well, we're getting cold. It was 9 degrees this morning. Look, the company. Remember, Bob, we went from 600,000 in 2018 to 5 million this year. So we've burned through and used up, our customer relationships. And the next growth has to come from, marketing, from other things. So I haven't looked to do any acquisitions yet. But
how many years for that?
20 months.
Oh, cow.
Yeah,
wow, that's huge.
Yeah, well, it puts us a little strain on things, and then as we've got a staff, but we don't have our service agreement base to cover it, and it's store times yet. So we're having to market for some of this. What I would do is these jobs will be fillers for December, just so my guys have something to do.
Got it.
So that's what I'm doing.
Do you W-2 most of your employees, or are they contractors?
All W-2.
Okay. You got like the reason this thing, like an HR, human resources, because you went to somebody to put out a whole pamphlet. Because we just had Al come in here, and it's actually very cheap. These people, they do it, but it covers everything, so you don't have to worry about what you miss.
We actually lease our employees to a third party so that we can get them.
All of them?
All of them.
Yeah, a PEO, right? And
so
I used to do that.
We get better
They do all the compliance and everything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he was asking how you do it.
So we lease, all the employees are our employees, but we lease them through a third party. So they cover the HR, they cover all the insurances. We have a package that's 30% what we could have of our costs, and we offer the same package.
If you're looking to make money with your invention, you got to protect it first. And if you want to prosecute for copyright, even though you own it when you create it, you have to register it to get damages. Did you know that? And then also, what about trademarks? Listen, we have a case going on with a trademark infringement and all that. You need to protect what you have. Trenner Law is the guy we send you to, Mark Trenner, Trenner Law. You can find him on the referral list at referralist.com. That's Trenner, T-R-E-N-N-E-R, Mark Trenner. Okay, so let's talk. We were wondering, and we're asking why people don't get outraged with certain things. Well, I think it has to do with whatever is trending in the U.S. I'm serious. It's terrible, but there's a sexual assault on an inmate. You know, this must be a problem in the whole, because there was a law, a rape Elimination Act or something. What is it actually called, Natasha, this prison reform legislation? What is it called?
It's the Prison Rape Elimination Act, or PREA.
The Prison Rape Elimination Act. Why was that passed? There must have been a lot of problems.
The Bureau of Justice found that there had been a lot of problems with sexual assault in prisons.
But this is inmate on inmate, or was it guards on inmate, or inmates what?
All of the above. It's,
okay.
And sexual assault, but especially from my perspective, especially staff on clients or staff on inmates.
So
that was
your charge there was to see to it that the law is respected.
Exactly.
So your very job was to look for situations like this and report them.
Exactly. Yes.
And the first time you come across one of these cases, even though it wasn't rape, I think everyone agrees it wasn't rape. It was some kind of feeling or whatever. It was inappropriate. Okay.
And it happened on more than one occasion, by the
listen,
way.
you need to start, I'm serious, you need to start a website or something and get people aware. I'll do it too. I'll get people, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think it's outrageous. Have Natasha actually send us names. I want to out the director and all those and try to contact him. You have a Black Friday special. What is it? This is, by the way, what is it? It's Mike with Smith Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, whatever.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
You don't do electric, right?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay. So you do plumbing, cooling, electric, and drains, all of it. Okay.
All of it, yeah.
What's your Black Friday special?
So we're reaching out to the folks in Colorado Springs, and we're offering 40% off, genuine 40% off, 12 systems, starting Friday, tomorrow, or day after Thanksgiving, just like some of the retailers do. And these are for people who know they have to replace their system, maybe been holding off because of the cost.
All right. So what are you going to do?
So they're going to call us, schedule a time,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to go in and present 3 different solutions. They can choose any of them.
What are the solutions?
The furnace and air conditioners together as a system. They can save anywhere from $4,000 to $9,000.
Now, this is going to happen tomorrow, or you're
Friday. Starting Friday.
Oh, it's
Saturday.
Friday. That's what I meant. Friday. Okay,
yes,
so Friday. Now, on the Panacea Life ones, it starts Friday too. So I'm sorry if you went there already. It's on Black Friday. I just wanted to tell people it starts on Black Friday for realcbdthatworks.com. And then, Bob, if you have any specials, you can tell us after the break. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up. Do you know what I love about Art of Granite? You can get
So right now at Panacea Life, you get 20% off if you mention K-How.
Okay. So we'll see. What I'll do is I'll keep this up, and I'll go in there and I'll
What's that, sir?
I'll wait and go in there. Coupon applied. Oh, there you go. Look at that. 20% off. Bingo. Nice.
But I don't know what the Black Friday is going to do. They probably don't want to say it. Where are you going?
I'm going to walk you guys down. I'll be right back.
Oh, after the break, you got to tell them you're special. What are you going to do?
Are you leaving or going?
Am I leaving or going?
Are you leaving or staying?
I'm going.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Oh yeah, today's a busy day, isn't it?
So hey, and I understand. I thought maybe it was a long shot to get that in, but
yeah,
I don't know how.
I don't mind sharing.
I don't know how else to.
So what kind of trucks do you guys drive?
We're Nissans, the NV2500s.
Yeah.
But I need. You have so many like onesies, twosies of all this stuff. It's like we started looking at how do we put those drawers together, and we're like.
Yeah, I mean on the plumbing side, we have the Hackney boxes, so we can carry a lot. Yeah. Quite honestly, I think it's overkill. You know how technicians are; they think they have to have every single part made and then
times 10.
Yeah,
because I like your quantities.
Yeah, yeah. We have min maxes on the quantities, but
no, it's just it's interesting how you control that many guys and everything. But anyway, well. You know, everyone pick up the phone and talk. I don't know. We got a few things going on that might be useful to you, but
sounds good.
We're just little guys.
Yeah, we'll build it up.
Oh my gosh!
There you go.
You save somebody $3,400 because they were told they need a sewer line.
That's good.
I'm going to mention that.
Please do. Thanks.
Wow.
Are you staying?
There you go, Tom. As always,
Okay,
sir,
guys.
appreciate
Thank you.
everything about you.
Thank you for being
Yeah,
here.
have-
It's been such a
continue great
pleasure.
days.
Yeah.
No, thanks, man.
Let us know
Appreciate
that CBE too, because like I say, I'm taking it for sleep
Yeah.
and it is helping.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, I think you'll like it, man. You'll like it. Yup.
After 7 years, he's been released pending a review of his case. He tells other convicts,
If you know for a fact that you are innocent of any crime, never give up and trust in God.
Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
There's a new baby at the San Diego Zoo. Zoo officials say their newest resident is a southern white rhino. She is the 100th southern white rhino to be born at the park, and the second conceived through artificial insemination. The zoo says these types of births are part of their efforts to save a subspecies of the white rhino. David Ryan, ABC News.
Hi, my name's Christina Stumble, and I own Farm Girl Flowers in San Francisco. With my Spark Cash Card from Capital One, I earn unlimited 2% cash back on all my business purchases. Last year, I redeemed $115,000 in cash back. Yeah, $115,000. And that doubled our digital marketing budget for the summer. Thanks to my Spark Card, we had our best summer yet. Imagine what the Spark Card from Capital One could do for your business. What's in your wallet?
Real Capital One customers pay for real stories. Credit approval required.
Ordering online? Just click and your purchase appears at your doorstep. But the vehicles that move your order, trucks, jets, and ships, create a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. That's why ExxonMobil and Synthetic Genomics are developing algae biofuels that can reduce emissions from all those trucks, jets, and ships by half. The upshot? A future where your deliveries are just as convenient and greener. Learn more at energyfactor.com.
KHOW News Time, 12:03.
Some of the less fortunate in the metro area are getting a helping hand for the holidays. The Broncos are teaming up with the Denver Rescue Mission to hand out banquets in a box for Thanksgiving. The event had to be moved from yesterday due to the weather. The Rescue Mission's Alexa Gagne.
I think we have about 30 volunteers. Again, since we had to move the date, volunteers said, yeah, we can come tomorrow, we'll make it happen. And just coming together, you know, the mission family, the community, our volunteers and supporters.
Thousands of the holiday meals are being handed out today at Empower Field at Mile High. Out at DIA Airlines, playing catch-up after yesterday's winter storm. Long lines are expected at security all day long as carriers get travelers where they need to be for Thanksgiving. You can always check your security wait times and your flight status at flydenver.com. Hundreds of flights had to be canceled yesterday. In sports, the Avs at home tonight against the Oilers. Puck drop at 8 p.m. at Pepsi Center. That's the latest. I'm Chad Hoffman.
Now,
Where is Marky, by the way?
He went to get that Afrin.
Because I wanted to do it. I want to go get my kid early. I'm not in a hurry.
He should be back for it. You want me to text him?
Yeah, just tell him I'd like to leave early to pick up my kids. But no, you know, not to rush, but as soon, you know, I'd like to leave early if I can. Thank you. Dano? You didn't tell me to go to the show folder, so you get docked.
I got it written down now. Well, I thought it was only if you didn't have any callers you want to do
Right
that.
now, mostly cloudy skies in Denver and 22. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner on 630 KHOW.
Black Friday through Cyber Monday. For every $25 gift card purchased at thecheesecakefactory.com or at any of the Cheesecake Factory restaurants, you'll receive 2 free slices of cheesecake redeemable in the new year. Visit thecheesecakefactory.com for more details.
Did you screw up? Or maybe not, but you are accused of screwing up. Being charged with a DUI can have long-ranging effects, but somehow it happened. Now you must deal with it, and you better get help. You need the law offices of Joseph A. Lazara, 303-429-6200, with an emphasis on DUIs. He has flat-rate pricing. You'll know the price of everything before legal work begins. This is not a time for blind lawyer shopping. Go with someone I know and trust. Joseph A. Lazara. Free initial consultations. 303-429-6200. You're going to face a trying time. Get someone to protect your rights.
You know, PPMs are changing the industry, radio. Do you know why? PPM, huh?
What's PPM?
People meters. I don't know what the other P. What does the other P stand for? Anyway, a PPM. You know why?
Mark facts in us.
Before the PPMs, minority stations were high, religious stations were low, and conservative stations were kind of low. Liberal stations were high.
So how did they get the ratings like that?
Because people fill out a diary of what they listen to. That's how they used to do it. So, if people were black minorities or they wanted to be correct, they'd say what they listened to. They'd write down these minority stations or liberal stations, but not conservative, not religious. And after the PPM came out, religious stations took a giant hike, and so did conservative stations. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I see a call on the board that could be, could be very strange. Very strange. I'm Tom Martino. What I do here is solve problems, as I've been doing for 40 years in Denver. Solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. For 32 years, for 32 of those years, I did TV. TV on Channel 4 for 20 years and 12 years at Fox 31. So the reason I say all of this is because there's almost never a problem I haven't heard about. So if you can find a problem I haven't heard about, I'm going to buy you lunch. I will. If you can just get me a problem I haven't heard about, that would be an amazing thing, wouldn't it? 303-713-TALK. So as part of what we do here, we like to recommend great things. RealCBDThatWorks.com, and I want to clarify, oh my gosh, and they really do work. I want to clarify, Black Friday sale starts Black Friday, on Friday. It goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. They'll have the lowest prices of all year. All right? Also, Genesis Total Exteriors for home improvements. No matter what the weather's doing, they're doing inside and outside, but of course, outside, weather permitting, and inside, what they do is, of course, baths and kitchens and basements. He's a really good guy, Mark Szymanski. We know him personally. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. And Ray has a very strange question. Before I get to Ray, Sue says a sweet old lady called. I better watch who I call old nowadays, by the way. But an elderly woman called who needs her snow shoveled. That's sad. She has no one to call but us. What's going on, Susan?
So, Tom, I asked her age. She said 96 and a half.
She's 96.
Mary, and her daughter, who lives with her, just had surgery, and she just needs someone to shovel her snow. And they're right about Federal in Mexico. If there's someone out there close that can help them.
Obviously, we're going to check them out before they go over there and take advantage of an elderly woman. But
Troubleshooter Show, please.
She's 96 and a half years old near Federal and where?
Mexico.
Federal in Mexico. Come on, anyone listening with a shovel, please, let's go help this elderly woman. Did she sound like a deer?
Oh, my gosh, she was such a sweetheart, Tom.
You know, as they say in the South, bless her soul. You know, don't they? That's an insult. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Bless her heart.
That means
they're going to say something bad, right?
Right.
Don't they say, oh, bless her heart, but she's such a gossip or something, right?
Right.
Is that, yeah, they preface an insult with a bless her heart. Oh, bless her heart. She doesn't know how to match colors, does she? Yeah, oh, now I get it. Bless her heart. She just doesn't seem to find a man that's worth a damn. Yeah. Bless her heart. She never found a man she didn't like. I know. I get it now. Okay, so what we're talking about now is a product. Hey, I want you to be able to call me with anything. And if you have a product, call me. And you can call me anytime. Remember, 24/7 at 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. You can do that while we're on the air as well. And then you can also call locally at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So we have a product that's on our referral list. You know, we list products, new products. We talk about them on the air. We've had a lot of bombs on this show. I remember one guy had a snow machine for your window. for if you wanted to, and I'm sure he might be listening. He's going to hate me, Nathan. I like the man, but he said before, I don't care if you like me or not, just don't disrespect my products. Anyway, this snowmaking machine, he really had this invention where this thing hangs up over the top of the window inside the house, and it drops snowflakes down into a pan on the floor. Now, if I was going to do it, I'd do a closed loop system with plexiglass sandwiching in the flakes so you don't get them all over and you. But this, he had an open system where the hung over the window and snowflakes would fall into a pan, and it was to give you the feeling of snow. God. I mean, anyway, for Christmas and stuff, if you want to see it snowing outside. I thought that was a silly product. This product coming up, PorchPirateLockbox.com is the website. At first, I'm going to tell you, man, I'm always straight here. I think, by the way, these people are fine people. We did a background check. The product is fine. It's wonderfully made. But we thought, wait a minute. And I know somebody's had to say this to you, Kelly and Candy. Somebody has had to say, wait a minute. You have a Porch Pirate lockbox to prevent porch pirates from coming and taking my stuff. It's a nice-looking box, a variety of colors. You can bolt down to the floor, and it's there for people to drop stuff in. Okay. Now, people might say, wait a minute. What's to prevent someone from going up and just opening the box and taking the stuff? So explain how it works, Kelly.
Well, you fasten it to the porch in 2 or 3 different ways.
And it's a box.
It's a box. It's a steel box.
It's attractive, by the way. It's not just a locker, but go ahead.
And it's has a lock on it. We just kept it simple.
And the lock, the guy knows you put it in the delivery instructions, right?
Yes, you can put it in the instructions, or you can talk to your UPS driver.
Yeah, because there's always a spot for notes on the delivery.
Yeah.
So you can put the lockbox code, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and then, or is that how it is, a code?
No, there's no code.
I'm sorry.
It's just a regular lock.
How do they open it?
You leave it open. And
they lock it. Oh, I'm so stupid. You're right. You just leave it open. They lock it.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, so that's a good idea. What about a box with a one-way chute, like a mailbox?
Well, we started looking at my wife Candy here. This is her idea. She come up with the idea of this. We unfortunately had something stolen from our porch, and she wanted me to build her some boxes. So I'm a machinist. I do all kinds of stuff. So I started making some of these, and we started coming up with some different designs. But to make something like that, it makes it
It's very expensive, isn't it? No, to put that chute in there to drop in.
Yeah.
And if it's not a one-way, people can just put their hands in and take stuff out. So I know what you mean. It's more complicated than said.
Right.
But what about the other thing? And I know people have had to have said this. Candy, whatever. If you do talk, they'll get very close. And you got to turn it on. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can actually move the mic. It's not delicate.
Okay.
Why not just buy a freaking box from Army Navy and bolt it to your floor? Why? Okay, I know people are going to ask that, so go ahead.
Well, you can buy a box
and drill holes in the bottom and bolt it in.
Yeah, and some people are pretty handy. They can probably build their own, but a lot of people
not build a box, but buy an existing one maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, or buy an existing one. But this one is a special purpose.
And it's pretty. I mean, is that powder coated or just?
Yeah.
It's a really. I mean, I understand that, but haven't people asked you that? Well, why shouldn't I just buy a box and bolt it down?
Yeah, they have, and I mean, you have every right to do that. Finding the right box, the right size. Do you want something that looks like a toolbox on your porch? There's stuff like that. And Candy wanted me to just build her this one. She kind of came up with the concept, so we riveted it together to make it look like a treasure chest, and
yeah,
I wanted something that looks cute. Looks nice.
Well, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask a bunch of questions, but I'm out of time for this segment. And now coming up, there's a very, 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 very important discussion because I'm tired of being dissed about this. I'm tired of people saying I'm a liar about something. And frankly, I think it was a sneaky way for a talk show host to handle a topic, and I'm going to shoot back with the best weapon in the world, and it's called the truth.
Hear an encore presentation of Bill O'Reilly's Sit Down.
Oh, man, I gotta just walk around.
Do they have it at the...
No, I had to go all the way down to Safeway.
Oh,
Damn it.
I recognize that voice.
What am I doing? MileHighEstatePlanning.com. You will love this attorney. He's so straightforward, Blake Harris. You know, he always has free consultations. Always. And located near Union Station with free parking. Listen to this. Convenient appointments. Nights and weekends. All of his ratings online are 5 stars. Why should you use him? Well, he does pre and post nup agreements. He also does probate and trust administration, including litigation. Maybe someone contesting a will, or maybe you want to contest a will. Simple wills, beneficiaries, deeds, power of attorney documents, all trust matters. Whether you want to form it, a revocable or irrevocable, he can tell you which one is best in which situation. Amending and dissolving trusts, how about living trusts? But this is really important, asset protection from creditors and lawsuits. Asset protection is not just for the rich. That's a myth. It's not just for the rich. If your estate is worth, let's say, anywhere from $100,000 on up, that's all the liabilities and all the assets, your net is $100,000 or more, you need protection. That's MileHighEstatePlanning.com, 720-924-6171.
Hey, Kelly and Kenny, will you come over and look at, I did a banner, just like, so we're on, that's the camera, when you guys talk, I'll scan to that camera. Does that look okay as far as your,
yeah.
That's,
Oh, actually, can you put my number down instead of hers? It's,
okay.
What is it? 438-9055-720.
438-9055. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. You bet.
Finally, you want low fees for managing your all-seasons portfolio. May we build one for you, so whatever tomorrow brings, you'll be prepared.
And you might want to bring the box up in front of you, Kenny, and so we pan you, you'll be able to see the box.
Sit it right here.
Cover your face. Yeah, right to the right. So this is it, and I'll try that. And they're all the same size?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a good angle, or?
It'll be right through here, so whatever you want to see.
That is a nice looking chest. It really is.
Looks good.
She ran me through the ringer.
What's that?
I had to make a dozen of them before we kind of came up with this, so before she approved it.
With ample free and easy parking and amazing mountain views. Now, until December 31st, they're offering 50% off initial consultations for their nutritional and medical IV therapies. IV therapies are powerful and direct ways to increase energy, decrease inflammation, and detox the body. And all medical IVs are under physician supervision, and at Grossman Wellness, they've done more than 150,000 nutritional and medical IVs over the past 25 years. So call today at 303-233-4247 to sign up. Go by and see the new facility in Glendale, Colorado, just off Colorado Boulevard. Call 303-233-4247.
Hi, this is Chris Harris Jr. Fix It 24/7 has the best prices in Colorado, but what makes them the best is their integrity. Their technicians perform top quality work quickly, and they treat each customer with the utmost care, respect, and empathy. Plus, they back their service with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't get ripped off, get the best. Call Fix It 24/7. Tell them Chris sent you and get 20% off plumbing or heating services. Find them at fixmyhome.com.
I used to have more hair.
Where are you guys out of?
I used to have more
Frederick.
Frederick.
Okay.
And I used to have cancer. I beat it.
What did you do? What's your career?
I'm a machinist, tool and cutter grinder.
Do you do computer stuff now? Computer assisted?
No, we had an 8-axis grinder at one point, but I'm kind of last of Mohicans. I make tooling with geometry on it to make parts that engineers design. When they design something, a lot of times you can put it on there with regular tooling, standard tooling, but when they get into complex stuff, I have to put geometry on the part.
What is it?
Or on the tool.
Isn't almost everything, can't almost everything be done by computer anymore or not?
Pretty much, but what I do, sometimes you can't. It's
like, what do you mean by putting geometry on it?
So like if they're going to make a feature, they're going to cut down a side of aluminum, and it's just a basic one, and they need radius with a tangent point.
Do you put the actual measurements on there?
Yeah, I'll put
the geometry on there so it can be duplicated.
Yeah, and they can make duplicate parts with this thing. And we go down. I can grind within tenths of a thousandths. Generally, I go within a couple of thousandths of an inch, which is your hair is about.
The perfection that it takes to do shit like that, it's amazing
Yeah.
to me.
I learned it from my dad and my grandfather too. So now she's a claims adjuster.
Yeah,
so.
workers' comp claims adjusting.
Oh, workers' comp.
Yeah.
This report is sponsored by Credit Karma.
Guys will be mostly
Get workers' comp questions all the time.
Yeah, I heard the gal.
Now you got an expert.
You work for Pinnacle?
I retired from Pinnacle. I worked for them for 30 years. And then now I'm working for a company called Gallagher Bassett.
Just down the street. Well,
do they have a big chunk of the market? Doesn't Pinnacle have almost everything?
Well, Gallagher Bassett is not really Colorado based. It's national and international based, so they don't compete really.
Do you have to travel for that?
No.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK. I want to get right to this discussion right now because it's a Wednesday before Thanksgiving. He's a doctor. Need I say more? Dr. John Schultz. Are you there, sir? Hi, Dr. Schultz. Thank you. I just want to get right down to it, okay? I have said time and time again, over and over and over, the only way to get true, genuine, living stem cell therapy is to have the cells extracted at the time of treatment and have them injected using imagery. That's it. Now, I said people who ship in amniotic fluid or they ship in cord blood will not get living stem cells. Even if they freeze them, they're not going to get but a few living stem cells at the other end. Is that pretty true? Okay, now, and you guys actually tested batches of this stuff. So here's the deal. Yeah. That are frozen and sent to clinics. No living cells. I mean, one time a guy bragged to me, and he disputed me and sent me a lab test. I swear to God, sent me a lab test that found 2 living cells. And he says, don't tell people they're not giving stem cell therapy. 2 living cells out of 1 billion. But anyway, here's what I want to do. I want to get right to it. There's a lot of chiropractors, and of course they're claiming stem cell therapy, or they dance around it and they call it regenerative therapy. And I want to be fair about this. But someone, without mentioning my name, went so far as to, people knew they were talking about me, said I'm not telling the truth. And I want to make this clear. There is a way to ship stem cells to clinics and have them viable at the other end, but it's against the law. I mean, so what I am saying is, under current law, if you ship frozen stem cells and you manipulate them enough and condense them enough, you could have a viable product at the other end. Is that true? Oh, it's illegal, that's right, even if you could. But what I'm saying is, the law on stem cells is quite clear. You're not allowed to manipulate them other than minor manipulation. Right, and concentrate, right, because it would be considered a drug, right? All right, so you guys are working within the bounds of the law, and you are doing extraction at the time of treatment, and then you're doing, okay, all right, and then you do re-injection. However, you can grow and condense stem cells offshore, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that you guys comply to all U.S. laws, but then you have an option for people who want the full Monty, concentrated growing cells, right? Okay. Okay, so that's a nice vacation at the same time. But what I'd like to say just straight up, these clinics who have fluid shipped in, can we almost assuredly say not one of them is providing stem cell therapy? Okay, so they're basically lying when they say it. However, I happened to listen to this one doctor, and he was very clever. In fact, it was the talk show host who mentioned stem cells, right, Dan?
That's right.
She called them stem cells, but he was very clear. He never mentioned stem cells. He called it regenerative therapy.
Right, but it was from corded blood, frozen corded blood.
And that's Downtown Health or whatever they're called?
Yes.
All right. So, doctor, I want to be fair to other providers. I really do. But I want truth and honesty. We cannot say that cord blood and amniotic fluid have no value.
No, we cannot. They actually they have some growth factors, just like PRP.
And they can help, right?
That can help in certain conditions.
I know what you're going to say. Why would you go to people to get growth factors from amniotic fluid and cord blood when you can get more and better doing a simple procedure much cheaper called PRP?
PRP.
What
That's
is that?
Exactly right. And it's yours.
What is that? What is PRP? What is it?
Platelet-rich plasma.
How do you do it?
It's a simple procedure where we take it out of your arm, we process it, and we concentrate basically growth factors, which are rich in different properties, but that can decrease inflammation and facilitate healing, Tom.
Okay, so if we want to get a lesser procedure, sometimes you guys recommend a lesser procedure because it's less invasive and less expensive. In fact, you probably do that 80% of the time, 60% of the time.
That's exactly right. Between 70 and 80% of all of our procedures are just platelet based. And our evaluation on candidacy and their need, not their credit card, but their medical need.
Right. So as far as living stem cells, I mean, you flat out, I want to know this. Could someone make the argument that the cord blood and the amniotic fluid, while it's may have growth factors, is it ever as effective as true living stem cells?
It is not.
Okay, so and even stem cells at their best, again being completely transparent, even at their best when you do it properly, it's not 100%, is it?
No, absolutely not. Like everything else, there are cases where it won't work, and we do our very best in telling prospective patients what their candidacy would look like. Are they a good candidate, a poor candidate, or somewhere in between? So we give our patients a very clear expectation based upon the thousands of patients that we see. And all of our outcomes are online.
Okay.
You can see.
Again, when someone said I misspoke or insinuated I was misspeaking, what I'd like to do is just clarify. Chris Centeno, Dr. Chris Centeno, didn't he begin the human clinics years ago?
The human clinic?
Yeah, in other words, he said he was the first one in a clinical setting for humans. They were doing it on horses and animals, and he took that technology and adapted.
Dr. Centeno and I started this in 2004. We were the first ones in the world to ever utilize.
I did not realize you were with him back then too. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That's okay.
Good. Now, and at the time, in fact, you were so advanced, there were no laws and regulations on the manipulation. You guys were one of the clinics that prompted it because you were doing what anyone would do. And that is, and people, if they Google, they'll find out, that is you guys were trying to give as much stem cells as possible by growing them. And the FDA said, wait a minute, you can't do that. And then that wrote the law for stem cells. Why do they feel that growing stem cells is a drug? Why is it?
Great question, Tom. I'm not an attorney, and I'm certainly not part of the judicial system. I think there's heavy influences on their decision.
Okay, like lobbyists, basically.
Lobbyists.
Okay. The other question I have, and this is something that people were told at Downtown Health and other clinics with chiropractors that, don't listen to that stuff about extracting your own stem cells. Your old stem cells are old and not as effective as new stem cells. But aren't stem cells by their very nature new if they're stem cells?
If we're talking and breathing, your cells are working. So that's a very common argument that's used to bait and switch you. Basically, your cells are too old. Here's a vial with millions of cells. Unfortunately, neither of those statements are true. Your cells aren't old. We've already done the studies to determine that age doesn't have any impact.
Well, aren't your
on
cells
outcomes.
replaced? Don't we virtually get replaced about every 7 years? I mean,
there is a continual renewing of our cells. Absolutely.
Okay. So anyway, Dr. Schultz, thank you, Centeno Schultz Clinic. And again, I think your biggest challenge is differentiating what you do from all the other charlatans. I'm sorry, but that's what it is in a nutshell. At least most of the smarter ones are not using the term stem cells anymore. 303-963-9201 for Centeno Schultz. We have more coming up.
This is Denver's talk station.
I have to run to get my kids. Mark's taking over.
He's never come in, right? Dr. Schultz is just...
Yeah, no. Nope. I just have to sign out of my stuff.
I can finally breathe. I'm going to spend the first 5 minutes bitching about Afrin. I think I'm going to sue him. Just for the hell of it.
Afrin is so bad.
It is so fucking addictive. It is the worst thing.
But it's it works so well.
If you can't breathe, there's nothing in the world that...
There's nothing better, Mark. Nothing. That's why.
Sudafed, all that is nothing compared to Afrin. It must, like, just shrink everything or expand it. I don't know which way.
Well, Sudafed's a pill, though, right?
Yeah, Sudafed, though. Here's the problem with Sudafed. Who in their right mind made it illegal? Why do you have to go in and
it's
see
not
a fucking
illegal. It's not illegal, Mark. They just want to keep
If you
track
buy
of it.
more than one package
Well,
a day.
yeah, if you buy a shitload, you're cooking meth, they figure, you know?
Yeah. Just because that's what I do. Sudafed probably costs more than meth these days.
So Afrin...
What I do is I take meth and I make Sudafed, so there.
Yeah. You reverse engineering.
I reverse engineer it. Yeah, thanks for spending the last 15 minutes on stem cells.
Well, no, I wanted to do that, but call them back if they have. You know the drill on that, and you know the real proper line on that. So.
Well, the best way with stem cells is to ship them.
Yeah.
But my question would have been for Dr. Schultz, and he's not on anymore, is why did the FDA approve corded blood?
Because it has growth factors in it.
No, but they approve it for stem cells. That's why I read that.
He's shit stirring. What do you?
No.
Are you going to fall into
Mark,
this?
But they listen. There's a gross approval, generally recognized as safe.
Okay.
When it's FDA approved, that's a misnomer because it makes it sound like it's clinically proven. No, FDA approved means it's not going to kill you. That's exactly right. It says nothing about the efficacy, nothing about it. There is an FDA approval for efficacy, but that is for a drug. That is for a drug, not for a treatment. They say, for example, well, no, there are some treatments like chemotherapy, but for example, they'll say this is effective for this. See, supplement people try to say that. And, and they're not supposed to. But you get supplement people who get a GRAS certification, generally recognized as safe, and they say FDA approved. And it gives the misrepresentation that it's approved what they're doing it for.
You know what else? American Financing doesn't start your loan term.
Oh, I got out of this.
You choose your refinance.
No, this is mine. I'm saying, did they not do a, they didn't give a code?
No, it's good from Friday. Well, besides, they're all done. You know
What's the deal, though? What is it, though?
Black Friday from Friday to Monday.
Because I had someone email me the same thing.
Up to 75% off. But it's Friday through Monday.
Oh, so you got by tomorrow.
Friday.
Or Friday. Oh, Black Friday, of course.
Were you thinking white?
In Cyber Monday.
So,
Orange Tuesday.
Is Monday Cyber Monday?
It's really nice meeting you.
Thanks for the opportunity, Tom. I have to tell you, I listen to you almost every day. Yeah. There's holes in the back and on the
this is really classy.
I mean, it's a simple, just try to keep it simple and cheap,
How much is it?
$199 right now.
Can you get like a beige color or something for those subdivisions?
Yeah. That's what we're going to do.
That's powder coated?
Yeah, we threw a bunch of different colors, but we're going to neutralize
Do you actually manufacture them?
Not yet. I have a vendor that I have done work for over the years.
But you have someone that'll make them as well.
Yeah.
What can you supply? I mean,
we're up. We could do 200 a week. I think he said. Once we get rolling.
Did you try to get on Amazon? What do you have to do that?
I'm trying to investigate all that right now. You know what I want to do is sell these to UPS and FedEx. Have them lease it to you for $10 or $20 a month, and me supplying.
God, would
training to do that when they know they can.
Well, they have to, don't they? I mean, this stuff it's not going to go away unless. What else do you leave out like that that's valuable that can be stolen? Everything's locked up.
You know, the Ring is making a lot of sales because of the doorbell.
Yeah, but what do they do when they get a picture of the guy? They don't go after him.
But all right. All right, folks, 303-713-8255. Yes, that is that loud, obnoxious voice you will hear on occasion. We are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. And thank you, Tom, for talking about stem cells for 15 minutes before I take the reign here. That always helps with the phone lines. I'm being sarcastic for you out there listening. But anyhow, here's the deal. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. 303-713-8255. What do you guys, who are these people sitting next to me, Suzanne?
Porch Pirate Lockbox.
And that's the lockbox.
Yes, it is.
Now, why wouldn't I just buy one at Home Depot?
Well, they don't sell them there.
Oh, that's a good reason why I wouldn't buy one.
You can buy a toolbox from Home Depot, but...
Yeah, what's the difference, honestly? I wasn't here, as you know. I don't know the difference. Because the first thing I'm going to hear from people is, why wouldn't I just go buy a box somewhere else? Well, actually, it's an odd size. I don't know what box you would buy that would be that size.
Some people's porches are small. Some people, it's got to fit on your porch, and your wife has to approve it.
You got to give a lock to, like, the UPS guy? How do you, you just put the lock in the box?
We just hang a lock on there.
And then he locks it?
Hang it loose.
Okay, what happens if you have UPS and FedEx same day?
Well,
I'm punching holes here.
Usually they're staggered, it could happen. Yeah. But if you're getting that many packages, you're going to have to buy 2 boxes, I guess.
It costs too much to actually do a digital key lock, wouldn't it? Where people could have different codes. All of a sudden, no one's going to spend $400 on it.
Here's the problem.
They might drop $200 all day long.
You're going to have to, your UPS guys are hustling. And are they going to stop and want to hit the codes, and everybody's got a different code, and you're going to slow them down. The keypad ones, you got to check the batteries, make sure they're working.
Yeah, I got you.
This one's just simple.
And you know what's cool is they have the garage door opener that we just had on. I haven't hooked it up yet, but it's MyQ technology, so I can open it with my phone. There's something I can give to UPS to where the thing will open or something if you're getting a really big package. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what that's called, though. How many of these have you sold?
Oh, about a dozen right now. We're just kind of starting out, so.
And anybody out there, you can go to referrallist.com. I think I put in some keywords like pirate. In fact, I'm almost sure I did that this morning, or I had it done, but that should work. That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, it's...
I like the rivets.
We got
Deputy Dan, what do you think?
No, it's a nice-looking box. The only thing is, if you do got to bolt it down, now it's there all the time.
Do most people bolt them down?
Yeah, you can. There's holes in the back. You could bolt it to your house, or you can bolt it directly to the porch.
Ed, what do you think?
Yeah, I see a use for it for sure.
But people are leaving valuable packages out. Like, we had a friend in San Diego stop by, and they ordered an iPad for their kid's school, and it got stolen, $800 iPad. So they had to spend another $800 to replace it.
Cindy, what's going on?
Hey, I just had a mold test return to a professional company.
Who did it? Was it someone on our referral list?
I didn't look at your referral list, and I should have, but these are the fog people, and I saw them.
Yeah. So what happened, though? So why did you have a mold test to begin with?
I have a humidifier, and the plastic tube from the humidifier, and somebody hooked it up to the hot water heater. It was spewing a little leak. So the basement got wet for 4 days in a row until I figured out where it was coming from.
Got it.
And then there's the mold smell for 1 day, and then it went away.
So you had a company come out. They tested. What did you have?
2 types of mold. One's toxic. One is normal. I don't know the name of them. I left the house, and I didn't even bring the stuff in. I just heard your show and thought I'd call you. So the normal mold is 480, and it's only normal would be 200, and that's the normal mold. There's another type of mold, which they said is toxic, and it's slightly over the normal. So
did you kill the food source to it, which would be the water? So you're not... the mold's going to die. Did you put any kills on it or anything? I don't think you should panic on this that much. Is the mold gone? Did you get rid of it?
There's no mold. That 3 people who came out to look at it. There's no visible mold.
Okay.
The company says that there is a toxic mold. We have to treat it. $1,500 minimum payment.
Wait a minute. Is the company that tested it the same one telling you it would be $1,500 minimum to get rid of it?
Correct.
Well, okay. Think about what I just said. What's wrong with that? Why would you hire someone that's going to do the test and they also do the abatement? And Cindy, I'm saying this for a lot of people listening. You never do that. You hire someone that simply does the test that'll give you the correct information without scaring the hell out of you.
Right. And I have another guy that I'm going to call when I get back home. One of the 3 people that came out.
How long was this thing leaking, and how much are we talking about?
It leaked
like gallons. How many gallons of water?
No, probably 2.
Hey, hold on a second. Rock, I got Rock here with American Restoration. Rock, this lady had a humidifier leaking for a little bit and noticed where it was coming from. So she called up a company that does mold testing. They came out and said, now remember, this thing was only leaking. Let me lock you in here. This thing, Cindy, was leaking for about 4 days, right?
Yeah.
So think about this, Rock. And how many gallons, if you had to put a number on it, Cindy, 2 gallons of water, what?
Probably 2.
So 2 gallons of water. She hires a company because she smells some mold. Maybe did you see any mold, Cindy?
No, nobody saw mold.
So no one saw anything. 2 gallons of water, 4 days. She calls up a company that comes out and tests. And you know what they tell her? They tell her, oh, my God, you've got black mold. This is poisonous. It's going to be $1,500 to get rid of.
Do they have to? They probably 4 days is a little bit of time. It's at 4 days, it's is it leaking from up above, down, like
It was up above. I was concerned that it was coming from the outside, a concrete wall crack, but that wasn't the case. So it was continuous, small pinhole leak.
A little humidifier with a hole in it.
And into wood and drywall?
Mostly into the concrete. A little teeny bit on the drywall. You can see a watermark on the bottom.
Rock, listen, man, this sounds outrageous to me. I mean, is there any way?
What do the results say? What are the results? What did they show you the laboratory results?
Yeah, give them the numbers.
Well, the normal mold that you were finding in the bathroom should be 200 or less, and and it was not toxic, and mine was 480. Now the other one they said was toxic, and I don't have that with me, the numbers with me, and they said I needed to treat that. One of the technicians treated the drain with...
What was the name of the company?
It's called Mold. It's a frog place. I'd have to look it up.
I don't know. Rock, what do you think here, man? How much does it cost? She needs this. Hold on. She needs a second opinion anywhere. Cindy, where are you at?
Northland.
Where? Oh, Northland. Rock, I mean, I'm not saying go do it at no cost, but can you take a look at this for her?
I can look at it for her. Yes, not a problem.
Cindy, just get a second opinion on it. This guy's not going to steer you wrong. But, Rock, going back to this, 4 days, it's on cement. And what was the other thing it was on, Cindy?
There's a little watermark on some drywall.
So, I don't know, man. I swear to God, this sounds crazy. I would never hire the same company to do both. That's just my opinion, unless if I really knew the people.
Right. I can go look at it if she can text me or send me the information off the air, and I can probably go look at it within an hour or two.
Cindy, let's do that. Would you do that?
They're awesome. Thank you so much.
Can you meet him? Because I'd love to do an update on this after, God, if you can get over there in enough time. If not, we'll do an update next week. But I would love to know this. And here's what I also want to say, Rock. If you get over there and it's a nothing burger, I want to know the name of this company. And for the hell of it, we'll light them up. Because I don't like the way they did this to begin with. They went out there. Now, if there is mold, toxic mold, and it could hurt her, that's a different story. But if it's just going on to cement, I don't know, Rock. Just give me something before you go out there. What do you think?
It depends on, sometimes there's
What's your gut say? What's your gut say?
That's why there's laboratory results. You can't argue with laboratory results.
If they're phony baloney results, you can.
I'd have to look at a report.
Okay.
That's why we test. That's why we test, and that's why we have laboratories.
Yeah.
So that, matters of opinion, it eliminates those.
This is the guy. If you ever truly do have mold or a fire in your house and you need cleanup, anything like that, as far as the abatement goes, these guys are wonderful. And that's Rock with American Restoration. Rock, please, soon as you get some answers on this, let me know.
And take pictures.
Take pictures.
We can be en route. We can be en route here shortly.
Oh, I love it.
I
love it.
As soon as you give me that information, we can head in that direction.
All right, hold tight. I'm going to put you both on hold. Suzanne, ask Rock what number he wants to give to Cindy. Let's get this guy headed over there, and we'll go from there. Everybody hang tight. You know how people right before Thanksgiving always say, hey, what's your favorite this or that? I want to know what you hate. Absolutely. Do you guys have a relative? And I mean you guys in studio and listeners. Dan, do you have a relative or a kid or someone that brings something that sucks to Thanksgiving? Honest to God.
I have to think about that one.
Well, I bet you might be the guy. If you don't know the person that brings something horrible, you're the guy.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Credit Karma.
Give me something.
Exit has been cleared. All lanes to the highway have reopened. Good news. There's crash eastbound 270 at York. That's blocking the left lane. Solid backup to I-25.
Guys, I'm quick. Don't take it when I cut you off. I just do that. I don't have to put it. But I'll talk to you a lot. I need to bring you in on other stuff too, not just this.
Sure.
And feel free to.
In fact, I'm going to ask you the genesis or the origin of the how you. I know Tom already did it. I missed it, didn't I?
How it came about?
Hold on. Shut up. Don't make me ask you a question and tell you to shut up.
Candy came up with it.
Right after this.
Credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
Okay, Master Rooter, I've been talking about these guys for a while. Here's what I love about them. They're plumbers, and they do something very well. Guess what? Plumbing. These guys are really good. They don't charge a trip charge, and they do not charge any kind of estimate if you're in the Denver metro area. They also give 10% discounts for military, senior discounts, and one of my favorite, and I've never heard this from another company, I think it's ingenious. If you're a single income family, he'll also give you a discount on top of their already low prices. Anything from needing a toilet installed, maybe a new faucet in your sink, all the way up to complete sewer lines, and they can save you up to 50% off those other guys. These guys are bonded, insured, taxed, background check. They're really, really good folks. 24/7 emergency service. If you find out you had one of these, free spells and it's going to start dripping everywhere when it defrosts, you got to call these guys. You ready for the number? You ready? Please write it down. Put it on your fridge. 720-434-3406. 720-434-3406. And don't forget, you can always find them at referralist.com.
Function in your shoulder? Check out DowntownTakeCare.com. They believe in the power of the body's ability to heal.
That's the first time I've heard of single income discounts.
I know, I've never heard of it. I think it's ingenious because you got to think probably 50%, maybe 60% of the population is single income. Actually, more than that.
Yeah.
It's got to be more than that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking people that aren't married.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are married are single income.
Oh, yeah.
You think so? It seems to me like most people, both people work.
I bet you there's more that don't, You got one income. That's a good angle.
It is, because
how do you verify?
You ask them. What else do you do? You can tell. I can tell. I can look at people and say, you're single income. You got to ask them a few trick questions like, hey, what kind of car do you drive? If they say a 1984 Granada, single income.
Gotta have a pair of glasses to filter that.
What's wrong with a 1984 Granada?
I had a 79. It was horrible.
Hey, babe.
Yeah, baby.
Here, this is a question for oh, I'm sorry. I kicked your purse. I'm sorry. For porch fire. Do you want to read that?
You actually run out of money. Grab your cell phone now and call to talk to a specialist to see a vivid picture of your retirement future. Plus, get a free copy of my book.
I don't. We do everything on air, so don't even try to peek. I see her over trying to look at the question.
I couldn't see that far even if
Have
I
her
wanted
answer
to.
too.
Where are you guys? Springs, right?
No, we're Frederick.
Oh.
Yeah.
How was the drive down? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the road though.
We got someone in Frederick. My Mike's dad lives in Frederick. our tech does all the referral list, as you know, on the network side of it, if you will.
It's growing.
It's definitely growing.
It's growing.
We've been there about 20 years.
Everything's growing, isn't it nuts?
Yeah.
People are like, I read this thing in 2000. I want to really put a date on this because it's important. So I would say, I think it was pre 9/11. So somewhere like 98, give or take a year, there was a quarter acre you could give every single person in the world, it was probably 3 to 4 billion back then, probably more, around 4 billion people. Every single person, maybe it was family, I think it was person though, every individual person, you could give a quarter acre in Texas to.
Yeah.
So when people say how overcrowded the Earth's getting, think of that
I read
stat.
that somewhere recently.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Every single person in the world, Dano.
Yep.
Quarter acre in Texas. But I think that was based upon 3 billion. Now I think there's 3 billion Chinese or 4 billion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What do we have? We don't have even half a million. Do we?
700 million?
Yeah, I was going to say half a billion.
700 million? Hey, Frederick is up by Firestone. That's where we went with that blind guy, remember?
Oh, Mike's parents don't live there. They live down by the springs.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Right by Firestone.
Yeah, that's the guy that had his basement done.
Yes.
The guy ripped him
Yes.
off. Yeah, I was listening that day.
The cops went after that guy.
Yeah,
Good.
they did.
Good. Love the shirt.
It's brand new.
What?
Your shirt. He said he loves your shirt.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
This is their dropping turkeys.
What does it say?
Did they actually do it?
WKRP.
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Do you remember that episode?
It was the best.
Oh my
Les
God.
Nessman.
Were they frozen turkeys or live turkeys?
I think they were live.
They were alive.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the turkeys are hitting the ground. They're exploding.
Les Nessman.
Ask Alexa to play 630 KHOW. Then you can hear Michael Brown straighten out the liberal laugh this afternoon at 2.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk
What they
station.
call is West Lang.
Well, yeah, he talked about stem cells for 20 minutes.
Oh, I see. You're saying that people weren't interested.
Oh, I love Sandler. You know, people don't realize how talented this guy is, not just as a comedian.
Yeah.
A movie maker. He had to deal with Netflix before anybody had to deal with Netflix.
Yeah.
That was on Saturday Night Live, wasn't it?
I
A
think
billion
you're right.
years ago.
Yeah. When it was good.
All right, bring it down. Okay. Here's a quote, a famous quote. I'd like to know if you know who said this. You know, we usually have a prize of some sort. I don't know what that would be. A date with Dan? How about a date with Dan?
Or you can buy lunch.
Yeah. You know how many lunches Tom owes me? I was thinking about this the other day when I won my 50th from him. But I don't eat lunch. So therefore, that becomes a big problem, no matter how you look at it. Here's the quote, though. As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. No, don't say it. You guys don't say it. It's not fair if you do, because I'm literally wearing a shirt that says it. I mean, it like literally is it. But one of the funniest episodes I've ever seen of that particular show, if you know who it is, we'll find something for you. I won't make you go on a date with Dan.
Thanks.
But maybe I will. So, Dan, what is the worst food? The worst food you've ever had at a Thanksgiving dinner? Was it from your ex?
No, she's actually a good cook. Some kind of a bean salad, I think.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
Bean salad. How about you guys? I assume you're Kelly.
Yeah, I don't like sweet potatoes.
Oh, man, Suzanne loves sweet potatoes. In fact, you make a casserole, don't you?
It's a souffle.
A souffle. I don't like sweet potatoes at all, man. Can't stand them.
I don't understand that.
You can even fry them, and I'm like, I don't think I want those. Seriously, I don't like them. They're orange. I find that strange. How about you, Candy? How long are you guys married?
Yeah, we're married.
How long you been married?
25 years.
Hey, we're right. We're 26. That's pretty good.
The green bean casserole, that's the one you're talking about.
That's my favorite.
See, the two things you guys don't like are her favorites. I'm not kidding. What do you put in that green bean casserole?
Mushroom soup, I
think it is mushroom soup.
And crunchy onions.
I'm smoking a turkey. Hey, and I'm being serious. A good brine, if anybody out there has actually smoked a turkey, not deep fried, not put in the oven, actually smoked a turkey, did you use a brine or did you just do a rub on it? I'd love to know. This will be the first year. I have smoked every meat you can possibly imagine. I mean, even venison. I've smoked deer ribs, but I have never, and I mean never, smoked a turkey before. Have you guys? How about a deep fry? You deep fry one?
We've deep fried them. I got a big Traeger. We smoke a lot of meat.
Oh, man, I just got one. I didn't get the Traeger brand, but I got a pellet stove.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's same thing. I got mine at, I want to say Sam's or Costco. I don't remember. It's still in the box. Because I've never used it, I'm terrified to do the turkey in it for the first time.
Throw your grill away and put your turkey in your smoker.
Well, no, I got another smoker I've used for years.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm going to use for the turkeys.
I don't grill anymore. I put everything on that Traeger.
But you've never smoked a turkey?
We've done chicken. We've done everything but a turkey, but I haven't brined anything. I just put the rubs on them, and man, they turn out good.
Wow. God, you know what? I put that trivia question out. Everybody appears to know it. Mickey's got a Thanksgiving dish. What is it, Mickey?
Baby,
what
if
is
you've ever wondered what happened to me?
Yeah.
Les Nesmith, WKRP.
It is the best freaking episode of WKRP, wasn't it?
Oh, the humanity.
The humanity.
Ever.
Turkeys are flying out. Oh, they're crashing everywhere and exploding. You know, it was a great thing. Here, we live out in Franktown, Mickey. Listen to this. Turkeys do fly. I don't care what anybody says. They live up in the trees so the coyotes don't eat them. But they only fly for 10 feet.
I believe you, Les. I believe you, Les.
Thank you. You know, okay, name another person on there. Who was Les's boss? Come on, Mickey.
Gordon Jump. Mr. Carlson.
Mr. Carlson, that's right. Who was the rock and roll guy?
Oh, come on. Make it hard. Howard Husband.
Okay, who was, who played the dumb blonde?
Lonnie Anderson.
Man, she's nailing it.
She's
good.
All right, well, I'll give it to her. Now I'm going to drop you like the turkey. She's gone. 303-713-8255. Thank you, Mickey. Kathy, someone already won. You know what? If you were the first caller, do you want to know what you would have won?
Sure, lay it on me.
I'm not going to say it was a new house, but it might have been. With 2 brand new cars in the garage, right, Ed? Did this get approved by management? Am I good?
And a yacht.
Yeah, well, call up, you know what? Call up the big man. Call up Tim. See if I can give away a house and a few cars next hour. 303-713-8255. We've got another hour to go. Later.
What do I have? Anything? Less.
She knew WKRP.
She had that dialed
She
in.
did.
I knew all that, though. Everybody watched that show. That was a great show.
Centeno Schultz, living
About 30 years ago, though, right? I mean, that was a long time ago.
Same time with Barney.
Yeah.
Barney.
The detective, you know, the funny detective where they came to his...
I don't remember.
Was it Barney? Was it that name?
No, that was a character. It was...
yeah.
Oh, you're thinking of... they actually filmed it in the jail cells right there.
Yeah.
Because they'd always have someone in the jail.
Right.
God, what the hell was the name of that?
Geez.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
Something Miller. It was a guy's name, wasn't it?
Barney Miller?
Was it Barney Miller? Is that the name
Might
of the
have
show?
been Barney Miller.
Yeah.
Barney Miller. Well, that was definitely...
No, I think that was the name of the show.
Let me see. Barney Miller.
And this is why they made Google.
Thank God for
It's the only good reason for Google. Let me see here.
How would we live without it, though?
I agree.
God.
Did you guys all from Denver here?
No, I'm from
grow up here?
I've been here since '92, but I'm from the
Since
East Coast.
'94, yeah.
Yeah, it is Barney Miller TV series, 75 to 82.
So even doing your turkey, I bet you Google it. How long do you gotta?
Yeah.
No, there's a million different brines.
No.
There's
how long
people
you
that
gotta
say
smoke it?
no. Oh, I already know how long to smoke it. I'm talking the prep. Should I put it in salt water or should I just put some rub on it? I think I'm gonna brine it.
So how many pounds is it?
I got 2. I got to cook 2 12-pounders. If you get over 14, you're not going to smoke it. It's not going to come out good.
That makes sense.
It's just
do
too big
one of
a bird.
each. Do one with the brine and one the other way, and then you know.
Do you stuff them?
It's not a bad idea.
How about stuffing it? You can stuff it?
When you smoke it, you stuff it with like rosemary. You stuff it with
just spices.
Yeah, spices. You don't stuff it with stuffing. I don't know about making.
Throw a cube of butter in it, breast down.
Oh, easily.
I was a cook in the Coast Guard.
Oh, really?
And I was,
there'll
I was
be
a
a ton of
captain's
butter
cook,
in it.
but yeah.
And I'll coat it with oil.
Yeah. And then, man, it makes it nice and.
Sam's
juicy.
has a garlic butter.
Mm.
Oh my God! So I watched this video of Ramsay. I love cooking steak.
Yeah.
So instead of grilling it, this guy he'll use canola oil, because canola oil gets very hot. I mean, it gets hotter than the other oils quick. So you heat that oil up to about 500, 600, 700 degrees on the stove. Then you cook the steak about 2 minutes each side if you like rare. But as you're cooking it, you're dumping hot butter on it. Just constantly dumping hot butter on it. Oh my God, you can cut it with a fork.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that sounds so
Making
good.
me hungry now.
Wow, that's.
You guys got kids?
Two, one in college and one just out of college.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So like what, 25 and 20?
23. She just graduated from School of Mines.
Cool.
Yeah,
oh, that's a great school.
Yeah. And then
wow.
the other one's up in Greeley.
You know, engineers in general are kind of.
Right.
What, is she an engineer?
Yeah.
Mines?
Well, why else would you go to school?
No, they got geology. They got.
Yeah, but no, she's a materials and metallurgical engineer.
She's working on the manned mission to Mars module.
Oh, really?
That is insane.
So,
At
yeah, they got some. Did you know about it?
No. Well, I had heard, but I didn't know they were actually.
They're building it. There's no deadline, but they're going to send 2 or 3 or 4 people to Mars.
How long of a trip is it? Like 10 years?
It can be 6 months to 9 months one way.
Oh my God, it's way faster than I thought.
Yeah.
And what is it? What is the fuel? Is it purely solar of some sort? Or?
I don't know, honestly. But we went out there for an.
Well, hell, we landed that rover on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that? Think of how impressive that is. These people sent something from here. And it's got a car in it that they drive around on Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's a satellite I think they launched in the 80s that is out past Pluto.
Oh, it's called not the Hubble.
But they're communicating with that. I mean,
it's still
I just
moving.
read something about it. It's sent in pictures, but it takes weeks for it to get here, or months or something.
That Mars rover at one point had an issue.
Yeah.
And they did something, and it came back online.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are sharp.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really, you guys got to be really proud of that.
Oh, yeah. We're proud of both of them.
Our daughter just started, I think the first semester is finishing up at Metro, but she graduated a year early from high school, which was all cool, but it brings up other issues when she's so young in college that we never really thought about.
Yeah, she's going to be exposed to everything early.
Well, she's like the only student that's basically, has to get permission slips in college. I mean, it's really kind of odd.
Our younger one was really young, so she was kind of on that end. So she just turned 21, right?
Yeah.
She did not like high school. I mean, she didn't dislike it. She just wanted done with school. Now she's the same way with college. She wants to do, God, I think she hit us with 18 or 20 credits this freaking next semester.
That's almost unheard of now.
And she's working 20 plus hours a week.
Wow. She's a go-getter.
She is. She did a state patrol youth academy last summer. She was in the DA's office for the whole summer as an intern. She loves criminal. I wish I could get her in this. Hopefully she becomes an attorney, but all this criminal justice crap is there's no money in it. There's no.
Plus, you're a target. I'll tell you, it's.
Oh, you're not kidding.
They've made it, destabilized everything and made it horrible for those guys.
Yeah, they have big time.
It's terrible.
I just saw a video of I think it was in New York, a motorcycle. It wasn't a motorcycle gang. It was a bunch of guys on dirt bikes, but the cop was gassing up or something.
Yeah.
And they're taunting them.
Yeah.
I mean, the videos there, you're like, oh my God. No one would ever think of that.
That's in L.A., but in New York, they're out there throwing stuff on them.
No, I've seen that with cops there.
It's unreal.
Throwing
No
garbage
respect.
at them, dumping water on them.
Oh my God. What would those cities do with anarchy going on? And that's exactly what would happen without those guys there.
But the mayor said to what's there that they're not cracking down on them.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't know. We're living crazy times.
We are. Yeah.
I think everybody said that, though.
Yeah.
You're right, but
yeah.
No, I'm telling you, everybody has said that. Think about, I wasn't even born, but think about the 60s, the Vietnam era, when all these hippies were out there.
Oh,
and
yeah,
shit.
the Cold War.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure they
gas.
were saying the same things we were saying right now. Oh my God, the world's going to hell.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, it's just different. You're at the top of the pile now.
You know, Dan, he was there when Lincoln got shot.
A couple times.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer your questions, take your complaints, and do really whatever there happens to be. So if you were ripped off, maybe you got a problem with the landlord, maybe someone took advantage of you, maybe you just need some information on a lease, anything. Really, that is why this show was developed. In fact, listen to this. If you're new to the show, over $200 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refund services. How do we quantify that? Well, to me, it's very low. There's a lot of people that do not get ripped off because they listen to this show. I've got some common people in studio. They're also on a referral list, porchpiratelockbox.com. And it's pretty cool if you've never seen one. It's basically a box. It's a lockbox. You put your packages in there, or UPS puts them in there, and then they lock it. And no one can steal it. You know, I did have a question from a listener, which I will read in a minute. It's a good question, but I am going to read that. But guys, how about, I'm going to read the question. Ready? What keeps a porch pirate from locking the lock that you left on it so the delivery can't be put in it? I mean, nothing, but why would someone do that? I mean, it's kind of weird. It's out of the box.
Yeah, that's kind of...
They're thinking out of the box.
Right.
Well, they'd have to know they're coming there. They have to know UPS or FedEx is coming there.
Here's the question I got, though. How about if someone just steals the whole box and what's in it?
Well, you got to get it off the porch.
Oh, because you lock it down.
Yeah.
Does it come with the kit to fasten it?
We're going to put that in there. We just, yes, we'll have that. Yes. I don't have it on the website, but yes, we'll have stuff in there to do that.
That's cool.
But, you know, nobody's going to come up and do that. Too much noise, too much time.
Geez, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I always thought of those hotel safes. I think some of them might be locked down, but why wouldn't you just walk in and take the whole safe?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a little strange. 303-713-8255. 303-713-8255. I knew it was going to be a slow day. And then, Tom, if you're listening, once again, thank you. Thank you for talking about stem cells for a half hour before I take over. Thank you. Thank you. Dan, you know what I'm saying, right?
I do.
Yeah, what am I saying?
You're saying people lost some interest?
A little interest, yes. You know, it's one of those things, though, if you really think about this show, people are interested in every different topic. You know, sometimes when we have doctors in or dentists, actually most dentists would probably be upset I just said that, but a lot of times when we have doctors in, I am shocked. I am shocked by how much feedback we get. Suzanne, who was that doctor I really liked that comes in maybe once or twice a year that Tom knows?
Oh, Dr. Ron Rosedale.
I love that guy.
He's really smart.
I have changed. Now, granted, Tom preached a lot of that to me for years, but until I actually sat down and met this guy, I didn't buy into a lot of this, like no orange juice and no carbs whatsoever. Do you guys, you're in pretty good shape. What do you do? Just work out, or do you watch your diet?
I watch my diet. I became diabetic 2 years ago, and I went to low carb. I don't.
What do they treat the diabetes with?
Well, I'm just
your diet.
Very low. Yeah, I'm still on the diet. I'm not taking insulin, but yeah, if you change your diet,
it happens
makes
instantly.
A huge difference.
Well,
Yeah,
type
diet
2.
and exercise, huh?
Yeah. I lift weights. And it helps.
How about what do you do for cardio? Anything?
I run and bike a little bit, but I mostly just try to lift hard and fast, so I'm getting my heart rate up.
A lot of people do not understand this. And I can't believe I'm talking about this. I just see, I'm bitching about stem cells, and here I am talking about diet. But people don't realize, and I swear to God, anything that breaks down into carbs is just no good for you. I don't care. I don't care if it's orange juice, a tomato. I don't care what it is. Now, maybe carbs a little bit, and we all love them. My favorite thing in the world is potato chips, and I just basically had to get rid of them. The other thing I do, though, is I eat once a day, man. I eat after 4 o'clock.
I try to eat every 2 hours.
Do you really?
Yeah. Just
See, I never thought of that with diet. Well, wait a minute, though. Being diabetic...
You want to keep your blood sugar at a certain level and level through the whole day. You don't want it spiking up and down. And if you're not eating, that's the worst thing for being diabetic.
Not eating. I find that strange. You would think it would be level, though, if you're not eating.
You're just eating small portions.
How about you, Candy? Are you in you
try
work out with them or what?
Well, I try to, but I work every day, so not quite as much.
I was pretty impressed by their kids, weren't you, Dan?
Yeah, so
they your daughter graduated the School of Mines at 23, and she's an engineer. And what kind of engineer was it?
She's a metallurgist, materials engineer.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then something to do with NASA eventually, or some space program.
Manned mission to Mars. Yes.
A manned mission to Mars. And I was saying during the break, it is amazing thinking we actually launched something from Earth that landed on Mars, or was at least I don't even know how it works, and now they have a remote control and they drive this car around on that planet. I find that amazing. I truly find that amazing.
And we're learning stuff about it, so.
Yeah. And didn't they find water on Mars? Didn't they find something and they thought there could have been life or something?
I think I'm not sure, to be honest.
Do you guys think there's life out there?
Good question.
It is a good question. I find it hard to believe there's not.
Right.
I almost find it harder to believe there isn't something very similar to us. I mean, literally to this degree, if not further, than not.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, it should be duplicated somewhere else. Very similar.
Know. I mean, I don't know why not. There's so many suns. There's so many planets. There's so many, there's so many galaxies. There's so many solar systems. It's insane.
We can't be just this anomaly, I don't feel.
I think it would really freak people out, though, if they found life somewhere else. I always wonder, and I'm not a conspiracy guy, but one of the reasons, if there ever was an alien, maybe they didn't tell us for our own good. I don't know.
Don't you think if they did, the world would just go crazy?
I don't know. You think it would go crazy?
I think it would just break down and people would...
Why, though? Because of religion? Why do you think it would break down?
I think everybody would be afraid. They wouldn't be able to understand it or comprehend it. So,
Fred, what's your advice? I ask people if they've ever smoked a turkey. What's your advice, sir? Fred.
Hello.
Hello, Fred. Have you smoked a turkey, sir?
Yes, I have. I'm starting to lose your signal. I'm on a cell phone.
That's right.
And,
did you brine it, or did you actually brine the turkey?
Well, no, you have to brine it if you're going to smoke it.
You have to.
And I did mine on a pellet grill. I have a Green Mountain grill, very similar to a Traeger. So, yes, and I just bought a plain old brine from, like, King Soopers.
Oh, you actually bought it. How long did you brine it, like 12 hours or something, or are you talking a rub?
Gosh, I can't remember. I might have done it in the refrigerator overnight. I cannot remember. But if you just Google brine, you can make your own real easy.
No, I know how to make plenty of brine. I know how to make plenty of brines. Really what my question is, do you do a dry brine or a dry rub, or do you actually have to brine it?
Oh, yeah, I think you have to brine it to get the moisture in it. Otherwise, the smoking will dry it out really bad.
Yeah. Do you, what'd you smoke it for? Probably 4 or 5 hours under 15-pound bird?
No, it was about 10 hours, but it was low and slow.
Yeah, but how big of a turkey was it?
Oh, I think it was about maybe a 12-pounder, 11-pounder, something like that.
Yeah, okay, everything I'm reading is saying about 5-6 hours, which I thought was a little low, although when I do a chicken, I only do a chicken for like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, well, my Green Mountain grill came with a book that gives you all the instructions on how to, like turkeys and prime rib and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah. But, I know it wasn't very high temperature, but it was for something like 10 hours. I know that.
All right, thanks, Fred. Josh, do you agree with him? What's your deal, man?
Yeah, I do. You got to brine it. I do one every year, and I always smoke it. I cook it a little different. I'll smoke it for about 3-4 hours.
You don't cut it down the center. Do you cut both sides down, or you smoke the whole bird?
I smoke the whole bird. I stand it up just like you're doing a beer can chicken.
And how many hours do you go? 225, 250 for what?
So tomorrow will be 3 hours on smoke, which should be around 185, 200.
Yeah.
And then I'll bump it up to 350 and just watch the temperature. The recipe says
hit it 185.
6.5 to 7 hours. Yeah. But the brine's key, and brines are easy, and they're a lot of fun. They
Just,
make you
I
feel
mean,
like a
basically
manly
any
man.
brine I've made before is basically salt and sugar. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, you put some other stuff in it.
Yeah, mine I made yesterday with salt, sugar, brown sugar, maple syrup, bourbon, oranges.
That sounds good, though.
Boy, you better get this right. I'm hungry.
You know, I said to Dan, I was reading this brine recipe during the break. I said, yeah, and it calls for allspice. What the hell's allspice? He thought it was Old Spice.
That's what I thought. I didn't know you were talking about.
He's going, oh, well, most people have that in their bathroom. I'm going, geez, man, that would be a strange one.
Look up the It's a Traeger recipe. It's a maple bourbon turkey. I'm doing.
And you've done it every year for how long?
This will be my 4th year smoking a turkey.
Did you ever deep fry? Is it better than the deep fry?
You know, it's actually very similar to the deep fry. You just don't have the vat of oil you have to worry about at the end.
Yeah, or catching your house on fire.
That's a good
point. Catching your house. So I don't like deep fry. It's just too much work.
You know, anybody out there that is deep frying for the first time, I need to tell you something, and I'm not kidding. If that thing is frozen anywhere, even in the center, and you don't know it, that is not good. That thing will start popping oil. You can literally catch your house on fire. All right, Josh, I do appreciate it, man. 303-713-8255. I got to take a break.
Weekdays 2 to 4. It's Michael.
I knew it'd be slow as shit.
I've deep fried a turkey, and I don't think they're that flavorful.
I almost caught our damn house on fire because it was a
Oh,
little frozen.
wait. What else do I have after that? I'll pull it up right now.
And then what do you do with the oil afterwards?
Yeah.
Because it goes rank after a while if you just try to keep it.
Yeah, you got to dispose of it. I did it inside the garage, and it flamed up like that.
Oh, it did?
Oh,
it flamed up.
Well, I used frying oil, so it didn't flame. If I would have used something else, it would because it hit the flame. It went over the top end.
So yours is partly or is it just when you put it in there?
When we put it in, it was frozen in the middle. I thought it was thawed out.
And so it did pop there.
And I had the oil too hot.
And this break just mile high, though?
Yeah, if you tip it over.
Yeah. Those beer can chicken, have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Oh, that stuff's good. You can't go wrong with that Traeger. Whatever you throw in there, it makes it good.
You know, Blake Harris, attorney at law, this guy can help you out with anything. Prenups, postnups, probate, trust administration. You know, he even goes in and does litigation if it's needed, but he can do everything from a simple will, a beneficiary's deed, and really think about what that is. If you don't know what that is and you own a house and you're going to pass it on to your kid or, you know, somebody, you've got to talk to an attorney to figure out the right way to do it, because if you don't, the tax burden can be outrageous. But these guys can help you with living trust. They can help you with revocable, irrevocable trust, asset protection. You pretty much name it. This guy, and once again, Blake Harris, can handle it. Here's his phone number. In fact, if you don't have a will, you need to call him up, and they are very inexpensive. But you really should have your I's dotted, your T's crossed, and make sure everybody is happy when you die as far as this part goes. 720-924-6171, MileHighEstatePlanning.com. You can always find them on our referral list at referrallist.com. Yeah.
So this says for 225 degrees, 30 minutes per pound. So if you got a 12 pounder, you better look at 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading there. Yeah, but it depends on what was that on.
225.
Do you got a meat thermometer?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, my green egg's got the real setup, and I'm not using it. I love my green egg. I haven't used it for a while though. Have you ever used one?
No, my brother had one, and I mean, it's just a porcelain grill, isn't it?
Man, it is so heavy, it's insane.
Yeah.
Here's a unique part about it. You can actually put very little fuel in that. I mean, we're talking, natural charcoal, maybe, maybe 4 cups. and it can cook for 10 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen anything so efficient.
That ceramic just holds the heat.
Don't they make it electric? Some electric ones?
Not a green egg.
Really? They're all
Have you ever seen a green egg?
Yeah, yeah.
The knockoff's called a Kamado. What's that dragon called?
Komodo.
Komodo.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, this is the first year we didn't go down in a while and serve food to the homeless. I'm feeling bad. I'm over it now, though.
You can do it tomorrow.
Yeah, somebody's doing it.
Who is this, Ed? I've heard this. Who is it? Lord. She was huge for a while. She's still big. Is she still relevant? She's European or something, right?
New Zealand. I know too much.
New Zealand.
Big fan of her.
Who was a real ugly one that could really sing, though? And she died. I think she OD'd or something.
Amy Winehouse or something like that. I wasn't a fan of that.
What'd you say, Ed?
Beehive.
Beehive.
Yeah, she needed some rehab, but
she didn't she? Man, I feel so bad for some of those folks in and out of rehab, and they end up ODing. I mean, think of the success level. It's always driven me insane thinking of Robin Williams. You know, here's a guy that had what a lot of us would consider everything, but he was so tortured. I can't even imagine. I think I would give up everything not to be that tortured. He must have been tortured. He was always on. Imagine anywhere you go, anything you do, you're expected to be Robin Williams, as you see on TV and stand-ups are on TV. It's really amazing, and I don't think he could shut that off. Anybody I've ever met that met him or saw him outside of, a show always said the same thing. The guy was always on. But he was so tortured. Man, hit the mic.
That fame to me would just.
Yeah, but other people handle it fine.
Yeah, there are people that do. Yeah.
You've got to be. A lot of people say stuff about Trump. He's very arrogant. What's another good one they say? I can't think of the. Dan, you know what I'm saying. He's
dumb. I've heard dumb.
Oh, shut up, Ed. Well, of course, oh my God. Okay, you're a gay man. Do you hate Trump?
No, I don't hate Trump, and I think this impeachment deal is ridiculous.
Well, even the Dems are starting to
see that. I don't hate anyone. He's just a little cuckoo for me.
Why? Why is he cuckoo? I'm just curious.
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, no, I'm not
getting into politics.
No,
I'm just curious.
Just some of the things he says makes no sense.
Where I was going with this, though, is a lot of, talent, no matter how you want to look at it, or CEOs. Who's the guy with Tesla? I mean, he's as nutty as anybody. Yeah. I mean, honestly, he is. Conceited, that's kind of the word. But a lot of these people, they have to be. Honestly, to run a country, don't you think you need to be kind of badass? I mean, honestly, that's what I want.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're not full of yourself, you know how hard it is to do certain things? Could you get in front of 100,000 people and sing?
No.
I mean, most people can. The ones that can and can do it successful, they know they're good. They don't care. And if they weren't conceited, they wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I believe that.
When I went to the Trump rally, I came up with the word confident.
Confident.
When he comes out there, he is so confident.
When you walked back in after that, wasn't that ironic? I saw you.
Right.
I was watching Fox News. I had no idea he was going to a rally in, where was it? It was like Minnesota, Fargo. And there I am, and Suzanne and I are sitting there. And I said, holy crap, pause that. And I rewind it. And there's Dano. I had no idea he was going to be there.
Hey, Dan, I'm curious. Do you iron your sheets before you go to those rallies?
What do you mean there?
That is just a low blow, Ed. That is so low.
I'll tell you, Ed, it was about like a rock concert.
No, but he comes out.
I bet it was
imagine,
high energy, wasn't it?
He put it like this. He walked in and he says, the guy's just bigger than life, walks out, and he's like this,
right.
And you over there,
people.
And you over there, and he's mentioning everybody, and he's pointing them out. I can see it. It is kind of cool, isn't it?
It was. It really was.
I'll tell you the most charismatic of the presidents, and I liked him. I voted for him. Clinton, not Hillary, but Bill. My God, that guy.
Yep.
Very charismatic.
Plus, he's so smart. They say he has a photographic memory.
Clayton? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
With Bill, you literally think he's talking directly to you.
Yeah, no matter who.
Yeah,
the
there's
whole
20,000 people in the room, and you think he's talking to you.
Did you ever see him? Or?
Yeah, I grew up in Arkansas. He was our governor.
Oh, I forgot about that. God, can you imagine growing up in Arkansas?
Did you vote for him?
Of course.
I grew up in Oklahoma.
Yeah, but even
I
Arkansas is
did
worse than
vote for Bill
Oklahoma. Arkansas is pretty backwoods, wouldn't you say?
On most things.
What do you mean most? Seriously, aren't they pretty backwoods? I mean, just in general. Or no? You know what? Walmart, isn't Arkansas Walmart?
Yeah, Arkansas, Walmart,
Fayetteville.
J.B. Hunt, Stevens.
All
Lots of millionaires and billionaires live in Arkansas.
Why, though? Taxes, or just because they were born there, or what?
I have no idea.
I don't think I'd want to live in Arkansas. I don't. Where are you guys from?
We're both natives, Colorado.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very few of you left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, in fact, God, very few of you. And your kids, of course. Well, if
Right.
they stay here. You think they're going to stay here?
Probably.
Hard to say. Our oldest daughter, she's a water skier, and she wants to go to a place where she can buy a house on a lake.
There is nothing here for that.
No.
There is no water here. How about these people that have, my neighbor, I hope he's not listening. They listen all the time, but he's got a boat the size of, it's absurd. That thing out on Chatfield, I mean, like the water starts going out of the lake when he puts it in there. I can't understand why people own big boats out here. There's no water out here. In fact, Suzanne from Oklahoma, I'll say one good thing about Oklahoma. My God, the lakes are everywhere, and they're beautiful lakes.
They sell a ton of boats here.
I know they do. Why?
It's crazy.
What's the furthest? How far do you got to go for a real lake? I mean, honestly. Not Cherry Creek, not...
Well, they have some even in Denver. There's small ones.
Yeah.
Small ones.
Wyoming, probably.
Ponds.
Lake Powell.
Lake Powell's beautiful.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to get a houseboat. We've looked into it. We always end up doing something else. It's getting a houseboat and going around Lake Powell for like a couple weeks or something on a houseboat. Have a little jet ski on it to have fun. I don't know. Have you ever done it?
Several times. You got to do
a houseboat?
It's beautiful.
On Powell.
It's the only place on earth like that, yeah.
Did you go with people that you knew?
Yeah. Friends.
I heard you really have to get along with them.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise it's a
You
long
better have
vacation.
a good group.
Well, it's like being in an RV with somebody.
Yeah.
You're
exactly.
Stuck with them for a week or two.
How much did it cost generally?
It was last time we went with a friend that had a timeshare on his, and he took us along for. We just paid for gas, I think, for the weekend or something.
That's still a lot.
But we brought our food, and yeah, it was. You can make it cheap. You can make it pretty nice, depending on who you take, how many boats, how many jet skis, what kind of food you want to eat. So
there's also out in like the Virgin Islands, actually islands everywhere, different clusters. You can get a boat, an ocean, usually a catamaran, a big one, and then you have a captain and a cook on there, and you go island hopping. I'd love to do that too, but there's nothing cheap about that.
No.
That's on my list right there.
Isn't it cool though?
Oh, yeah.
Just the thought of it.
Yeah.
We were in Cabo or Cancun, and they had this timeshare thing. And it was that. It was a yacht. It was a timeshare yacht.
Huh.
So we went out just to check it out. And for 1 or 2 weeks a year, for X amount, you basically share in this yacht. Now, I never get into a timeshare, but the reason we did it is we got to go out on the yacht for about 3 or 4 hours. It was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Bill, you want to give kudos to whom?
Budget A1 transmission and auto repair.
Yeah, Scott and the gang. Mark and Scott, what did they do? What happened? How'd it go down?
Oh, my God. It feels so good to be able to put this truck into four-wheel drive and pound myself through a foot of snow.
Oh, wow.
You have no idea.
What went out on the truck? The transfer case or the tranny? What?
Well, the transmission and then the transfer case was an old issue, and there was a manufacturer's kind of problem that they solved by putting a hole in a journal someplace, and they really fixed not only the transmission, but they fixed the problem that caused the transmission to fail.
You know the coolest part about these guys, and I love, I'll tell the story real quick. Hey, thanks, Bill. So we went to Mark. Anytime we have an advertiser, we got to make them different than all the competition out there. I mean, you guys can appreciate this being in business with your box there. So we got to make it different. How do I make that box different than any other box? And that's one of the reasons I asked you about it. But I went to Mark, and Tom went to Mark man, well over a year ago, and we said, here's what you should do, because there's not one transmission company in Denver doing this. You give free diagnostics. You tear that transmission apart for free, because I'm telling you right now, you bring that to anybody else. You bring it to a dealer, you bring it to AMCO, you bring it to anybody out there, whether a franchise, an independent, everybody wants between $500 and $600 to rip apart your transmission. We told them, why don't you do it for free? And I'll tell you what he said after this.
Happy Thanksgiving from 630 K-House, Denver's talk station, right? 630 K.
The whole thing is the prep, but I'll get into that when we get back. Oh, shit. Who do I have? I keep forgetting. Oh.
This guy says an inferred turkey fryer. What the hell is that?
Do you guys include shipping?
No, because we ship the box to San Diego.
All right. "24/7 emergency service. They'll do anything from installing just a toilet or a new faucet all the way up to a full-blown excavation included, a brand new drain, sewer lines. These guys do everything. And it's very important to have a good plumber. If you own a house, a condo, a townhome, anything like that, at some point you're going to need a plumber. I don't care who you are, how well you take care of stuff. And these guys at Master Rooter are very good at what they do. They'll also save you money. 10% off generally for military senior discounts. They even have a single income for a discount for single income families. If you need a plumber, give these guys a call. You ready for the phone number? And write it down, because if a pipe freezes or if you ever need it, you're going to want it. 720-434-3406. 720-434-3406. Or check them out at referralist.com. Who else? Is that it, Ed? Who else? Who else? Unless if it's a baker's dozen.
Well, every once in a while we just get, like say, the calls aren't there. Otherwise we can be just slammed. We just never know why.
Well, everybody's traveling today. I'm sure they're listening.
It's probably a big deal. You're probably right.
But it's just a different schedule.
Right.
Everyone's sitting at the airport trying to figure out when their flight's going to get out.
Would that be the worst?
Oh.
I mean, I've never been stuck at an airport more than
Actually,
a few hours.
run a Johnson. I'll do the retro foam. Okay, that's fine. I'll do it.
Yeah, time stands still at the airport. There's nothing fun about that.
It goes backwards. I mean, there's nothing to do. It's you want to get out of there.
What's that?
Oh, it's stuck at the airport. There's nothing worse. I said there's nothing worse stuck at the airport. They just had.
Yeah, beer's like $28.
They just had 1,000 flights canceled.
I know.
You know, this last storm.
Yeah. And this is the biggest day, travel day.
Of the year.
Yeah, so they're cramming it.
Yeah, they are.
Plus, I heard Atlanta and Chicago were going to be delayed.
You guys ever flown Frontier?
Yeah, we just.
I didn't know that.
I think I flew Frontier to Vegas just recently.
Oh, Frontiers.
Yeah.
Long time
They're
ago.
the cheapest, but they're the
God,
worst.
are they cheap?
You can't even recline your
geez.
seat.
There's no recline.
That 2 inches that.
No, they don't even do that anymore.
Yeah, I think it's just up there.
Actually, if you pay an extra, like, $50 or something, you can get a seat that reclines like an inch, like you said.
Jeez. And then what about the little trays? You know, most of them have a full tray. They look
My cell phone doesn't fit in
I
that
know.
tray.
I hate airplanes. They're too small.
They are small, especially you. How tall are you?
I'm 6'1", 230, 240, but I never fit. I'm hanging out in the aisle half the time.
So
there's guys bigger than me.
Right, think of those basketball players.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, those basketball players are flying right though. They're up there.
Yeah.
Team flights.
There's a lot.
We have a volunteer that used to come in. He doesn't come in anymore. He flew the Bolins around on their private plane. He was a pilot. And I always said, do you ever fly the team anywhere? No. They did a couple times. Like when they went to pick up our new quarterback there that got injured. Yeah. You know, they flew the plane out to get him and stuff, but they don't use them for the team at all. I thought they did.
Probably just charter one, right? But you'd have
they
to
must. Or maybe just commercial. I don't know.
For those guys.
I always thought they flew commercial.
All right, 303-713-8255. 303-713-8255. I was talking about Budget A1. So Tom and I go to him and say, hey, here's what you should do because no other transmission shop's doing it. Period. Nobody. You should do a free teardown and diagnostic. Oh, my God, Mark, I swear to God, I thought he was going to have a heart attack. He's the owner. He couldn't believe it. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I got to pay a guy to do that and blah, blah, blah. But he did it. Why did he do it? I'm going to ask you guys. You guys run a business. Kelly, why? Why do you think he agreed to do it, at least to test it out to see how it would work as far as an advertising campaign?
I think it's just a good advertising, but 9 times out of 10, they're just going to have you fix it.
That's right. Here's all we had to explain to him. You have to communicate properly with the customer. If we tear it apart and find this, it could be this much. If the whole thing is just toast, it could be this much. If you just want to Band-Aid it for a little bit, it could be this much. You have to educate them to let them know what they're possibly looking at. Make them think about what they might be spending. Now, there was a few times, of course, where it didn't even need to be torn down because it was a basic fix, like a linkage or something to where they wouldn't have to tear it down. And, of course, the customer's happy. But it was educating the customer that meant more than anything. Here's another thing. Dan, have you ever had an issue with a company that you now love? In other words, the first or second time you've used them, there was some form of an issue. It could be anything. It could have been a restaurant where your food didn't come out great one time.
Oh, yes. Oh, you bring that up. Yes, restaurants that make it by giving you a free dessert or a free drink or something.
Giving you something. How about a service company, though? How about like a plumbing company, an auto mechanic? How about anything service?
This is a good one. Plumbline stuff. I had them come out, and they could not make their appointment, so they gave it free.
So they gave it to you free.
Right.
That's good. Okay. How about you, Kelly? Same example.
I'm going to ask Candy if she remembers anything like that.
Some form of a service company where it didn't go perfect, but you would call them right now.
We had a plumbing issue, and we were redoing the bathroom, and the drain was backing up.
Yeah.
And what had happened basically is there's too many twists in the drain, and without this, we weren't using the shower because we were redoing.
Who fixed it?
Who was that?
Brothers.
Did they fix it the first time?
Yes.
Well, they
so it went good.
Originally, they couldn't figure out the problem, and then they figured it out. They brought a snake in. They brought a snake in, and they snaked it, and then we figured it out. But he was there way longer than he needed to be, and took care of it, you know.
They took care of it. A lot of times, what I learned when I had my Goodyear stores, some of the customers that I had forever, and I'm talking more or less fleet customers, people that were in charge of multiple vehicles, multiple good customers for us. I mean, that was a biz. So, if there was an issue, and I made it right, and let's say it was, not a great issue, something I wouldn't be proud of as a business owner in any form or fashion, but then you make it right, and you really make it right, and you let them know, hey, this isn't going to happen again. We're sorry. I know I told you it would be done. I know you're a guy. Comcast was a big one. Comcast was one of my big customers on Peoria, and one time, our guys were super late getting a vehicle done, and it was just a brake realignment. It was basically a brake job. And the problem with that was that van had a pretty special thing to do, to go out and make Comcast money, and it wasn't done on time. And I made it right. And because he kind of remembered that bad situation and how I made it right, they became lifetime customers until I sold it, and the new guy basically chased everybody away. You know the guy I sold it to? I hate to say something like this on air, but he was a nightmare. Honestly, he was one of the nicest guys in the world. But as far as running a business, he simply couldn't do it. Is that how you'd put it, Suzanne?
Who was it?
Greg.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Goodness.
I mean, it was hard.
Ooh.
Remember we sold, we sold our computer store, one of them, way back when. They ran that into the ground in 1 year. That thing was generating $12,000, $13,000 a month in pure profit. Wow. And I had a store manager, Mike, running it. And he made me a fortune every single month, month in, month out. I sold it for no inventory, nothing. I sold it for around $200K. I get to $200K within a year. Within a year, a store that had been around almost 10 years, generating in profit $13,000 a month, hell or high water, was gone. Gone.
Why did they change anything?
I don't know what they... You know what they... Okay, that's a very good question. You know the first thing they changed? You're going to love this. The first thing they changed about a month after they bought it, they got rid of employee health insurance. This is way before Obamacare or anything. They got rid of the employee health insurance. I paid like 75%. Even if it was a family, I would pay for the family too. So, you know, back then health insurance wasn't crazy like it is now. Yeah. That was just part of the benefit. They got rid of that benefit package, and Mike left. Mike still works for me now, or is still a partner of mine now.
Is that the reason he left?
Yeah, he did. Hell yeah, he did. And he couldn't stand the people. But no, I think he would have stayed if it wasn't for that. I really do think he would have stayed. It was crazy, though. It is absolutely insane what people will do. Think of the cash flow I just told you. I didn't even have to be there. Yeah. I could literally not be there. Mike had that thing on autopilot for me at $13,000 a month coming in.
All they had to do,
and they blew it.
Treat your people good.
And I didn't even charge them 3 times on the business. I took $200 for it. If I gave it more time and effort and advertised it heavier, I bet I could have got $250 for it. But no, they totally did it. Same with the Goodyear, though. Absolutely, that thing was generating cash and doing great. This one particular location. And Greg was a good manager as far as what he did prior to this. But I don't think he was good at paperwork. Yeah. He worked for a big corporation where he managed it, but he did not have to do any of the paperwork. He didn't have to worry about filing taxes, payroll, everything that we did internally. And even though we taught him how to do this stuff, it didn't get done. And then ultimately, he ended up selling the building. Ultimately, he ended up making good money off the building, but he did not make any money off the business. Nicholas has a comment on mold. Nicholas, I got to catch people up. We had a young lady call up and said she had a company come out and tell her she had mold. They did a test on it, and they told her at minimum it would be $1,500 at minimum to get it cleaned up. What's your comment, Nicholas?
Okay. Can you hear me all right?
I can barely hear you. You must be a truck driver, bro. No? I can't hear him. I don't know. Sorry, bro. I have no idea. Suzanne, I can't hear him. I don't even want to attempt it. 303-713-8255. How much money do you have invested in this business?
About $20,000 so far.
Wow. And of course, you know, you're not even close to getting that back.
No.
What's the business model on it? You're selling a box that people put stuff in so it doesn't get stolen by porch pirates. And if you go into a neighborhood like Highlands Ranch, or you go into a neighborhood like in Parker, Clark Farms, your normal everyday suburban neighborhood, there is porch pirates absolutely everywhere. And I will say this, 100% that's a deterrent. If I saw that, you're going to go there. Just like if you are a guy that breaks into homes, you're going to go into the home that doesn't have a dog. That is definitely a deterrent.
Exactly. It's to make you go to the guy that doesn't have one in all reality, but
yeah, it's to make him go to the next house.
Everybody is, in my view, everybody has to have one.
And it's soothing on the eyes. The one thing I do think you need to do, and you said you were, is put the kit to attach it. Right now, I assume it tells you how to attach it. It's just not coming with the lag bolts. How do you attach that to cement?
Well, you need a hammer drill, and they have expandable fasteners. You set them in the concrete, and as they suck up, they push out, and they hold them.
And it looks good.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like something you just go buy, at Home Depot or something, like a toolbox like we were talking about. It actually looks like it. And it holds, I'd say, most packages. It's a little small. I mean, you're not going to put a TV in there, for example, but any kind of computer, anything like that.
Right. We went through this whole gamut about how big do you make it, how small do you make it?
Yeah.
And you can't make a box for everything.
And you can't make it much bigger because then, shipping it, all of a sudden it's outrageous.
Yeah.
In other words, you're not going to sell any.
Yeah.
You should do a Black Friday deal on those.
Yeah.
You should let me cut it. In fact, let me do it.
Okay.
I'll tell you how much to sell it for.
Okay.
Will you sell it for whatever I say?
You better watch it.
Yeah, you better watch it big time. All right, hold that thought.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the T.J. Martell Foundation.
All of a sudden you have 40,000 in the business.
Johnson. Suzanne, I'm going to use you on this.
What do you want to do for Black Friday?
If you want to, because we're online, if you guys want to talk about it outside there and stuff, you can do that.
Well, I was just going to say, what does Mark have in mind?
You never know. A lot of times he'll just say,
Hold on, guys.
I'll tell you about one thing.
Dano, you probably didn't know this. In fact, Suzanne met Chase. Chase is the owner of Johnson Construction, Roofs by Johnson. But listen to this, 250 to 1,000 rubber tires are recycled to make their average roof. They call it a hail-proof roof. It's got a lifetime warranty. It's a hail-proof warranty that comes with it. You get maximum insurance discounts when you purchase this roof. So a lot of times if you get a roof that's a class 4 or above, you actually get a better price on your homeowner's insurance. Think about that though. If you think about a roof, right now they're asphalt, they're plastic, they're different things. A rubber roof, really it seems so basic that things would bounce off of a rubber roof. I hate saying it, that's so simple, but it's crazy. Now it is going to cost you a little more to begin with. It absolutely will. But you have a roof that could possibly last you the rest of your life. EuroShield is the name of it. And the owner is Chase. You like Chase, don't you, Suzanne? Honestly. We've met him how many times? He is a great young guy. He is a good team, and he put together a great team. But that's it. Johnson Construction, Roofs by Johnson. At least you should get a quote. 719-ROOF. 303-719-ROOF. I'll say it one more time. 303-719-ROOF.
Roof.
Sure.
So, I thought you got another one coming up?
I just told you about Johnson Construction. You know what the owner, Chase, also owns? Another business he started, Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. This stuff's pretty cool. If you have an older house, maybe built, it really doesn't matter when it was built, but if it is not insulated properly, these guys come out. You can see a video. In fact, if you go to referrallist.com and search Retro Foam, you can see a cool video Martino did on this product. They basically show up in a truck and they pump a foam into your exterior walls. You can do it on your interior walls too. In fact, it makes it pretty much soundproof. But on the exterior walls, they don't have to break open the drywall or anything like that in order to make your house more efficient. Up to 80%, sometimes 90% more efficiency. It's one of these products that after enough time, it'll pay for itself because of the energy bills. FoamYourWalls.com to check out that video directly. FoamYourWalls.com, or you can call them at 720-676-6333. Bam! Bam!
I hit it on time.
What's that?
I says you hit it on time.
Yeah. I always go. On the first 2 hours, I have to, everything's got to be perfect timing. If it's 30 seconds, it's 30. But as soon as we move off of our network time, I can go long, short, doesn't matter.
How much more? I thought about the roof.
How about, would you do, is 25% off too much? They got to order.
What's the numbers on that real quick? What's 25% off at $199?
$149 basically.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was just thinking that too. That sound good.
Well, what sounds good is $39.99. But
yeah, well,
right.
That'll kill us.
No, of course.
For Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday.
Do they got to order it today or Black?
I don't care.
You got to order it before the end of the week, before
Okay.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And make sure it's no
Hey,
shipping.
mine too is the guy that called at the beginning of the show today, but the
because-
grandma's
You gotta
10
say
grand
that.
was wired out.
Remember you
He
say
did his
Okay.
homework. Now he wants to ask
Okay.
a couple questions. If you want to go to that.
Okay.
Before the end of the
I
show.
don't think we're gonna have time.
You heard that
Two
call?
here and two
Yeah.
on the bottom.
Oh, do you want me to kill him then? Do you want me to
Yeah,
kill
tell
him
them
for
to call
Monday?
back Monday.
Okay, I'll tell him.
I tell you that mold when Susie said that $1,500, 2 gallons of water. I agree with you on that, Mark.
Shit, something ain't right,
It
man.
was cement. It was on cement with a little bit, and just color on the drywall.
Yeah. People are scammers. You guys
I
have a
don't
whole
like,
show on
you
it.
don't pay for the test and have the same guy pitch you. Even if they're honest, you're still asking for trouble. It's not the way it should go.
And this guy that we put Rock.
And if you have a guy come out and tear it apart to restore it, like Service Master or one of these companies, you don't let them rebuild it. You get a contractor.
Yeah. But American Restoration, the Rock, the guy is smart and he's good.
Yeah, because we had some water stuff and we never got any mold.
Right.
I mean,
especially in Denver here.
We put fans in right away.
You got to kill it, man.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
it. You
Right.
kill it.
Right.
You kill the food and then you dry it out.
She was 2 gallons.
And then if it's really bad, you use some kills or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like what Rock said, he said that the lab report. I wonder who did the lab report.
Right.
Probably the same company. You know,
Yeah,
is
it phony baloney?
Yeah.
They pull a
There's
report
only
off
a
of
few
another
labs.
job.
I mean, it's not like there's a million of them around. And if it's just on their invoice, level this, that,
Yeah. Something has to attach it to your house, right? Your dress or something.
Right. No, and like I say, it was one of those. I'm sure it was a little humidifier. I mean, that's $1,500. Why did I do that humidifier?
But people are panicked about that mold.
They sure are.
They just don't understand it, I think.
But
so.
most of it's, like I say, it's just mold is mold.
Yeah.
You know, but they said toxic. That's not very often you get toxic mold.
Especially here, right? I mean, it's so dry.
That's why I like Denver.
What movie do you guys watch Thanksgiving? Oh, you probably don't.
Oh, there's Elf and...
Do you guys have like one you always watched on Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Her brother always plays Elf and...
Elf is a good one.
The Chevy Chase movie at Christmas.
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation, yeah. At Christmas we watched.
You know, I was asking these guys, what movie? Most families, especially if you have kids, you watch a certain movie on Thanksgiving and then on Christmas. We love Christmas Vacation. My God, is that a good movie? The other one, Planes, Trains, Automobiles. John Candy, what a great movie. There's another guy that dropped too early. Yeah. Belushi dropped too early. God, these guys, they abuse themselves. Yeah. And then, what's the other one? Elf. You guys said Elf. Elf is a hilarious movie. Yep. Suzanne, what's another one we watch all the time? I love Dumb and Dumber.
Home Alone.
Home Alone. Yep. Home Alone's a great flick. You know, that kid ended up a little weird. You see him now, he's kind of weird looking. He is. There's something happened to him. What's his name?
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, wasn't he one of those Michael Jackson kiddos?
He said nothing happened.
Well, I'd probably say nothing happened too. I gave that a lot of thought. I'm not so sure if you're in the spotlight like that, you want to come out and say, yeah, Michael had his way with me. I don't know. I mean, what would you do? See, these are the questions you get here.
I would be, I don't know. I wouldn't want anybody to know. I'd be pissed at my parents for putting me in a bad situation.
You know, think about that. Who drops their kids off at a grown man's house for the weekend?
Yeah.
Those parents should be ashamed of themselves. Nicholas has a comment on this mold. Go ahead, Nicholas. Hopefully I can hear you this time, sir.
Yeah, I hope you can.
Go ahead.
I was listening to your comments on mold. I'm a retired physician. I practiced allergy and immunology for many years and dealt with this problem with patients for 20, 25 years. So I'd like to make a couple of comments.
Please, go.
Particularly in laboratory. Now, when you're thinking about mold, you really have two categories. You're not ill from it, you're ill from it.
Yeah, fair enough. Toxic, non-toxic.
Right. You address the problem differently for both groups. Now, in the illness category, there are two different types, those that are allergic and those that are toxic. And you can be allergic and toxic together. But those people that are allergic, no matter what the laboratory says, you can have a normal amount. There's no such thing as normal for a person that's allergic.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that would go for anything.
Yeah. Now, if you're toxic, that's a little more difficult.
Here's what I was saying more than anything, though, Nicholas. What I didn't like about that call, well, it's nothing with the call. I don't think the same company that comes out, takes the samples, should be trying to also sell you getting rid of the mold.
I totally agree with you on that.
It sounds sketchy.
Yeah, now interpreting the results, so if you're really allergic, no matter what that result is, you're going to be allergic. If you're non-allergic and look at the results are statistical for that laboratory and may not apply to an individual.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
They take all of their values and make a statistical analysis of it.
Hey, Doc, can I ask you something, a little side note?
Sure.
It drives me crazy. You know, right now we have Kaiser, which they're starting to drive me crazy. We're going to switch, though. But just in general, when a doctor either smokes or a nurse is, like, obese and overweight, I just find that very strange. Is that it? What do you think?
I agree with you. I don't think a doctor should be smoking, using drugs.
Anything.
And if they're managing you, they should get down to a good weight.
Yeah. Do you were you in private practice or what were you doing?
Yeah, I was in private practice for 45 years.
So you were like a family doctor, if you will.
I was a family doctor first, and I retrained. I did allergy and immunology and dealt with this problem. I did that for about 35 years.
Hold on a second.